Hello everyone. How are you guys? Happy Friday. It's the weekend officially, right? Most of us are done working for the week. So that's awesome. I hope that you guys are getting a lot done during the week, and I hope that you guys are excited for the weekend. I need to change one more thing. I thought I was ready. Never fails. So you guys will notice things are a little bit different looking in here today, and you guys know I'm moving all kinds of things around and doing a bunch of work in this room. So for the time being, things will be just a little bit different until we get everything set up. So thanks so much for joining me today. Today is Craft With Me on Friday. On Friday night, we do a live Craft With Me session. Normally, we are working through a journal kit and we are making a journal. Tonight, we don't have a journal kit that we're going to be working through. It's going to be an ephemera making session. So we'll focus on making different pieces of ephemera for the upcoming series of journals I'll be making. I release a kit on the 15th of the month. So on Tuesday of next week, we'll have a kit that will be sold during the live sale. I will go over that instructions again later on in the middle of the show. But basically, in between kits, we just do general crafting, Craft With Me lives. And so that's why we're just making ephemera tonight. I can kind of give you an idea of what I'm going to make. And then if you want to pull out something similar and craft along with me or make something different entirely, that's all up to you guys. Thanks so much for joining, guys. Hello, Jerry. Hello, Shelly. Hello, Jennifer. Hello and welcome. I see several new people in here. Hello and welcome. Hello from Arizona. Hello. And St. George, Utah. Hello. I know all of those places. So thank you so much for joining me for Craft With Me. We have a lot of new faces for people who are used to coming and participating in live sales and in live Craft With Me's. You will see a lot of new faces. There are a lot of other things happening on the channel, and so just bear with us as we get accustomed to all of the changes that are happening here. They're all good changes. It just might take a little bit of time to get everything smoothed out, which is kind of what's happening in this room right now. Is I'm doing different cameras and different lighting and seeing what's working in here and what's working in the other rooms. And so that's kind of why things look strange tonight. I do have a very large light off to the side of me, which I'm sure you guys can tell. Thanks so much for joining me, all new people. Thanks so much. I appreciate it. I know a lot of you guys are coming over from watching the 365 videos. So I've been doing 365 days of junk journal ideas. That's a video, a pre-recorded video that comes out on my channel every morning. It's 4 a.m. my time, which I'm pretty sure is 6 a.m. 6 a.m. Eastern time. And so the video comes out every morning. It's a short 15-minute video, sometimes less, sometimes more. Today's video was super short. I recorded it a couple days ago, and I debated on going back and refilming it because it was so short, but honestly, there wasn't a whole lot that we needed to discuss about that particular idea. So yeah, the videos come out every morning, and they're just fun little videos. I didn't want to eat up a lot of your time, so I tried to make them very short. It's mostly about getting those ideas to you guys, and then you guys can take those ideas in whatever direction you guys want to go. You can make something completely different than I made. You can, hey, maybe that idea sparks a new idea for you, and so you take it and do something completely different. It's all up to you guys, but at least I'm putting the ideas out there. And we do have a lot of new people to the junk journal community. There's always a lot of new people to junk journals because junk journals are fairly new themselves in the world of crafting. Junk journals have existed for a little while. They have been called different things at different times, but most of the people coming into junk journaling now are, they're newer people, and it's really catching on. The idea is catching on. And so I'm really excited with where junk journaling is going. And I'm happy to be a part of helping whatever way I can with that in my small little way. And so I'm super excited for all of the new people coming in and all of the existing people who have been doing junk journals for a very long time. It's really exciting too, because even them, they're coming up with new ideas all the time too. So it's just a really nice big thing that we all get to collaborate on. And who knows where this adventure is going to take us. I'm so happy about it though. It's been so much fun doing the 365 videos every morning. I normally film them in the morning. However, sometimes I film like 3 or 4 in one day, and then, might be busy for a couple days, but it has been so much fun doing all that stuff. I'm building up a huge ephemera stash. So when I do have journals in the process of being made, at least I have a big bunch of ephemera that's in a box ready to go. Now, everything doesn't go with every theme, but it should help in the long run, right? That's awesome. So, guys, your daughter's been watching. That's awesome. Hello, hello. I see lots of new names and some names that I'm used to seeing every Friday. So let me just roll through. Hello, Jerry. Hello, Lisa Marie. Hello. It's hard for me at this angle to get to every little bit of my computer. We're just going to have to do the best we can. Oh my gosh. Hello, hello. Awesome. I see all kinds of people in here. New people, old friends. So much fun. So guys, if you want to craft along tonight, if you guys have any window envelopes, I'm hoping to finish some window envelopes tonight for flip outs in my new journals coming. And then if you guys have any CD envelopes, we're going to hopefully play with these things. Sometimes I get them out and I think I'm going to play with them, and then creativity takes me into a different direction. I don't really have a set plan tonight because, like I said, we're in between journals. So if you have CD envelopes and window envelopes, we might play with them. I hope we play with them today. It's weird because the lighting is it's it's really different today. This is the first night that I've had all of that set up, and it still is in the process of being rearranged, which pushes me off into one corner of my room. So next Tuesday, sorry, I'm getting a package. My dog will bark the doorbell. So next Tuesday, we will have the journal kit released. And so what that means is Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Eastern time, I'm going to come on live, and I'm going to be having a release of that journal kit and a live sale. The journal kit will be shown in detail. We'll talk about it. I'll give you guys the price. We'll sell the journal kit right then and there. And then, I'm sorry, hang on just 1 second. Hang on just 1 second. Okay. So I'll show the journal kit. We'll go through the whole entire thing. We'll talk about it. And then whoever purchases the journal kit, you'll get the kit shipped to you separately than any other purchase. It'll go right out to you. And then you'll have it by the 1st, hopefully, as long as USPS, cooperates. You'll have the journal kit by the 1st. And then throughout the entire month of February, because this is February's junk journal kit of the month. So throughout the whole entire month of February, we will make the kit live on the Friday night Craft with Me's. And then we should be finished with that journal in February. And in the middle of February, we'll have a new kit come out for March. So these kits come out every single month. Every month there's a different theme. There's a different, color combination. There's different pieces of stuff included in it. So it is a whole lot of things so that you guys get the kit, have everything that you need to create the journal with me. And then if you guys want to make something different, if you don't feel like making that kit that month, you can save it away. The videos stay on my channel forever. So you guys can come back to those videos at any point in time and watch them and make your kit then. Just because that's what I'm doing does not mean that that's what you guys have to do. And also, you do not have to purchase the kit in order to do the Craft with Me's on Fridays. You guys can create the same journal I'm making without the actual kit. You can just use what you have and make a journal that's very similar. So you don't have to purchase anything to do Craft with Me's on Fridays. They're always free. They'll always stay free. And so when we start doing that kit, we will be tailoring it more towards junk journal classes. And there's a whole advertising thing going out about, free junk journal classes. So we will have probably more new faces as this goes on, and throughout the year, we'll keep adding to our group. There is a limited number of kits that I can build every month, and it's just based on what supplies I have. And so I know that we have a lot more demand this time around for a kit than we've had in the past. So I just want to say I only sell the kit while I'm live there. It's not available in Etsy. I know some people have contacted me through my Etsy. I don't have the kits on Etsy. Everything I do here live is separate than the Etsy. The Etsy store just has like really basic junk journal supplies in there. There's lace in there, and there's sewing things and stuff for slow stitch, and there's some French ephemera, but only probably 5 items compared to hundreds that are here, probably thousands if you count all the different kinds of documents there are. So the Etsy store is separate. And so I did get a lot of questions about live sale stuff over in Etsy. And I just want to make sure that we are keeping that separate, because it's just too hard to answer questions in multiple different places, right? So the kits will come here at the live sale, and that's when they will be sold. And I don't have any plans of selling them any other way after that showing on Tuesday. So hopefully we all get that. We all get that kit and we get working on it. I think that we're going to be able to get this kit completely done by the end of February, and then we'll start with March, which will be a different theme. And so it's fun for me too, because we work through many different styles of journals and themes of journals. So I don't get bored. So you guys don't get bored. And also, the more journals we make, like if you're new to junk journaling, the more journals you make, the more confident you are of just, sitting down and making journals. So it's just kind of fun too, because we get to hang out and do it together, and chats, rolling around. And it's just kind of a fun way to hang out together. And it's better than the short little videos, because we can really go deep into a certain subject instead of just keeping it within that 15-minute time frame. That has been hard for me because I want to fully decorate everything in those videos. It kills me every time because I really want to deck out the stuff and decorate it. But in 15 minutes for making and decorating, there's just no way to do that. I might be able to get one piece finished if I didn't have to go into detail about how to make it in 15 minutes. But anyway, it's been a fun experience either way. But at least during the Friday craft with me's, we can really get into the decorating kind of part of it too. First time here, well, thank you for joining. Thank you to everyone who's joining, whether you're coming back or whether you're new. Thank you for joining. And so tonight, like I said, just a casual craft with me. We're going to work on ephemera. You can, make whatever you want to make. I have a plan to make some window envelopes, tags to go in the window envelopes. They will eventually later become flip outs for the journals. When I do the kit, I make 3 journals usually. I make 3 journals all from the kit. So the kit will contain enough supplies for you guys to make 1 for sure. Sometimes there's extra supplies where you can, make multiples or whatever. But generally they're geared towards making 1 journal. But I make 3 just because it allows me to work through all of the different supplies in the kit. And also it's just more, that's the way I've always built things, is I've always built things in multiples, and it's just natural to me. So I'll be making 3. You guys will see them all. I'm glad that you guys are enjoying the videos. Honestly, I'm super happy. And thank you for joining the Facebook group. I pinned the Facebook group up to the top of group chat, right here in live chat. I pinned the Facebook group up there. There's a little link that you guys can click, and that takes you over to the Facebook group. If you're not a member of the Facebook group, it's not required or anything like that. It's just my Facebook group, and that's where I generally post updates and links and what I'm doing. And if I have additional pictures of ephemera I make, I post them. I'm hoping to post them in there. Time has been a very short supply lately. Since starting the 365 videos, I have not had nearly the time that I had hoped to have. Technically, I was supposed to be still on vacation from the holidays. I am back now, obviously, but I'm just saying I haven't had as much time as I thought I was going to have. But never fear, I've been working on all kinds of things for all of us behind the scenes. Okay. Thank you for whoever purchased on Etsy. I appreciate that very much. That's awesome. That's what the cha-ching noise is. Every time somebody buys something on Etsy, it makes this little noise. So that's awesome. Thank you so much. Hello, Denise. Hello. And Denise, thank you for the all caps, because if you guys have a question for me, if you have something that you want me to address specifically, just type in all caps, because chat is rolling. And while right now I'm looking at the camera and I can see chat fairly easily, when I switch the camera to the desk, chat will be off to the side of me, and it is hard to read every single comment as it comes in. So if you could type in whatever you're trying to say to me or ask me a question or something like that, if you type it in all caps, that really helps me see it. And then if you guys in chat, all of my, I don't want to call them OG, but OG people, if you guys see a question and you feel like you can answer it, you're more than welcome to answer it for people, just in case I do miss things. Because like I said, it is hard once I'm focusing on what I'm doing. It's hard to actually look up and catch all the comments. You buy the kits here next Tuesday. Yep. It'll be just like this, where you'll be in chat just like this, and I'll show you the kit on the other camera, the one that faces the down table, and then I'll type the kit into chat and say, okay, go, and then you'll just claim a kit by sending me your information first in an email, and then you'll claim the kit. So I can go over the instructions. I will go over the instructions, because on Tuesday of next week, we will also have many new faces. And so it's going to take us a minute to figure out how live sales are going to work, because I've been doing live sales here for a long time, but it's going to take us a minute to figure out how live sales are going to work with the volume of new people and existing people. And so just everyone, me included, let's just, we'll have to be chill next Tuesday, and we'll have to see how it plays out. Don't worry about it though. I will make sure that I take care of every single person as long as I have enough kits for those people. I generally make between 35 and 50 kits, but I can tell you it will be very, very close, if not sell out on Tuesday. That's what I'm thinking, because that is the number of requests for kits I've already got. So Tuesday will be 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There will be a link put into YouTube for that sale very shortly, probably in the next day or two. And it'll just tell you that there's a scheduled live stream. And in the live stream, it will say like something like new kit and live sale. And that's the one. It's next Tuesday. It's the next time I'm live. And so we'll do the kits, but we will also do a whole bunch of other things. Like the live sales I typically do are antique paper goods from France. Mostly. I do sell some American things. I sell some lace. I sell some linens. I sell fabric. I sell whatever miscellaneous antique stuff from France we can get. Ledger pages, everything that you guys see behind me, the table, the actual on this side, that stuff I just recently unpacked from France. I have 15 more boxes in the entryway. That's what the doorbell was. So there's been a whole lot of stuff that arrived over Christmas break. And so all of that stuff needs gone through and sorted and packaged some way that makes sense. And so there's just a whole lot of stuff, but generally it's junk journal supplies of all different kinds. This year we have all kinds of new things that we haven't ever had in the past. We've been doing Italian Florentine paper. It comes over from Italy. It's the same Italian Florentine paper that a lot of junk journalers use. So we've been doing that. We have a new shipment of that. We have all kinds of other things that are new to us at the live sales this year. I like to mix it up. I don't want it to get stale. I want, I always want new supplies too. So when I buy them for us, I also get to play with them too. So it's kind of fun that way. So the kits that I'm talking about are an actual package that contains physical supplies that you make the journal from. So everything that you need to construct the cover of the journal and then the pages inside, it may or may not come with a digital that's printed or that you need to print off. I'm not sure on the digital part of it yet. Sometimes, like in the past, if I'd used a digital kit, I printed the digital kit because I can print borderless, back-to-back, printing, double-sided printing. So I have sometimes included a kit, and sometimes I have just used miscellaneous pages, or I've included some printed and you need to purchase a kit somewhere. I'm not sure exactly on the digital part of it yet. I have not actually built the kits. They will be built this weekend. But whatever I'm talking about as far as a kit is physical supplies. If there is a digital component to it that is mine, I will print it for you guys. If there's a digital component that belongs to another creator, then I will give you the link to where you need to go purchase the kit if you want to purchase the same kit, or maybe you already own the kit so you don't need to purchase it. But we've done it multiple different ways here, and it's because I really do like to support other creators too. And sometimes there's just a kit that I fall in love with and it's not mine. I didn't make it. So if I want to use that kit, I do make sure I tell you guys and give you guys, the link so that you can purchase it too. But it will include enough stuff where you do not have to have a printer if you don't have a printer. It's a pretty thorough kit, and it includes enough stuff to make the journal. And then from there, you'll need to use your basic supplies like, scissors and glue and whatever you want to sew your journal in with the signature. It doesn't include, the basic crafting supplies, but it includes everything else. I understand the printer situation, and that's why a lot of people buy the printed digitals from me. I have digitals that I make, and in the past, I have just printed a million copies of them, and I've sold those at live sales also for people who don't have printers or they just wanted the digital. And it's nice to just have a big pile of printed pages too, so that you can just sit down and create and you don't have to think about, oh, well, I need to go print things, and then the printer needs ink or toner and all the other things, right? So I give the price of the kit when I sell the kit. That's how that works. And the reason is sometimes the kit price is exactly the same from month to month. Sometimes the kit price goes up or down, and it depends on what supplies I end up putting in the kit. And because they're not finished, they're being built this weekend, I don't know exactly what I'm putting in yet. So I know most of it, but then I go through my stash. I have a specific area I've been keeping things for this kit because it's been in the plans for a while. So when I build it, we'll know. But it's generally, generally around the same price. But anyway, we'll talk about it on Tuesday. Oh my gosh. So if you're new to the live sales are very long. I'll just warn you guys ahead of time. The live sales are 5 hours long. You do not have to be here the entire time for the live sale. You can come and go. There are people who are still at work and they join when they get off work. There are people that need to go to bed early, so they go to bed early. There are people from all over the world, so they're in different time zones. But the live sales start at 6 p.m. and they go for 5 hours. And we have a lot of stuff that we work through in that 5 hours. It's back to back, item after item after item. I generally chit chat for a few minutes in the beginning, but I can tell you next Tuesday, for people who have been here before, there will be a lot less chit chat and a lot more getting to what we need to get to, because there is so much stuff here that needs to come across the table. So basically, live sales are 5 hours. You guys can purchase as much as you want to purchase there. After the live sale, you get an invoice, you pay the invoice, and the stuff is shipped to you. It's very simple. And we'll talk about that again on Tuesday. But craft with me. Let's make some ephemera. Are you guys in the crafting mood? You must be, because you're in a craft with me live on Friday night. I love craft with me's on Friday nights. Honestly, it's just like the perfect end of my week too, where I just get to sit down and I get to chat with you guys and we get to make some pretty things. And it's just a fun time for me too. So I appreciate it. And thank you guys so much for joining me. Honestly, it is amazing the love and support that you guys show to me. It really is amazing. And I so appreciate it. All of the kind comments that you guys have been leaving me in YouTube comments, I just so appreciate that. And I know that I have some unanswered Facebook Messenger messages, and I will be looking at them shortly. It is hard to keep up with it all. It is Eastern time. Everything is Eastern. I give you Eastern time, even though I'm in Arizona. And that's the other thing too, is a lot of people get confused because I sell French things and they think I'm in France, like an American living in France, but I ship from Arizona. Everything I get over in France, and I have it shipped here so that I can sell it to you guys here, and you guys get to pay US shipping instead of shipping from France, because shipping from France is very expensive. The last shipment that I had shipped from France was $1,500, or actually it was 1,500 euro. So it's about $1,750 in American. Diana, I know who you are, Diana. Hello, hello. The red boxes behind me, they're ledger labels. So the red labels that you see on the green ledgers up there on the spines of them, they're those red labels. I don't offer local pickup. I'm just not set up for that. I'm doing this out of my home, so I don't really have that option. It's very cheap to ship within Arizona though, because I have several other customers that are in Arizona, and it's very inexpensive because you guys are so close to me. Okay. If everyone else is good, we will switch the camera down and we will get started so that we can make some pretty ephemera tonight. And for anyone who wasn't here before, I'm talking about making some window envelopes that are going to be flip outs in the new series of journals. And if you don't know the theme, I did tell people the theme of the kit that's coming on Tuesday. It is a neutral colored antique style of journal, like, you know, Victorian style of journal. I tend to gravitate towards that very vintage, very antique style of journal. So it is neutral color themed, which is just your basic, you know, shades of antique paper where you have everything from a white paper all the way to like a super toasty paper, right? So it's neutral colors, whites, creams, beiges. And then I've added in the French blue. And so it's very lacy, very girly, very vintage, Victorian. That's kind of the theme. I don't have a name for it yet. I'll have a name on Tuesday, but I think we're just calling it Blue French journal for the time being. But that's kind of the ephemera that I'm starting to build. That way, because I'm making 3 of them, I do want to get a jump start on that ephemera. It doesn't mean that you guys have to also start stressing and getting a jump start on it, but it just is something where we're going to craft tonight. So I might as well start making things for those journals. And the reason why I'm choosing the window envelopes and the CD envelope, which is also a window envelope, is because those things generally take time, quite a bit of time. Like, it's not just a simple tag. It's a 3D interactive thing that I generally sew in the signature of the journal or attach on a page or something. And it takes a little bit more time. So I wanted to work on those today where we were relaxed and we could do it. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys watching the 365 videos. They're super fun. They look like the wands from Hogwarts. Everyone says that. They really do. The boxes are really long like that, and they look just like that. Okay, let me switch the camera down, and we can get started. Hopefully, if you guys want to craft along, any type of envelope will work for what I'm doing, and any type of CD envelope. And if you don't have a CD envelope, maybe you have like a greeting card envelope where it's a little bigger, a little wider, and you can cut off the top of it maybe and make it more of a CD envelope shape. It'll make more sense when I flip the camera down. Let me go ahead and do that. And you guys will notice some changes to that whole setup. So let's go ahead, figure out how I switch the camera down. Yes, right there. Cool. Okay. There's the desk. So that's what I'm talking about. Window envelope and CD envelope. Let me spin my monitor around so I can keep in touch with you guys. And I actually got toasty warm. I need to take this jacket off. I have been cold all day. So, you know, in Arizona, like, we're pretty warm compared to the rest of the country. It has been very windy the last couple of days because we're close to California. So it's super windy, and it has been super cold. It actually, when I got up this morning, was 26 degrees outside, which is very rare for us. So I have been very cold, which is why I was wearing the hoodie all day. I need to be comfy, but I just want to be warm. Okay, so this is what I pulled out. I'm going to be using the Magic Blue glue stick, and I pulled out copy dyed CD envelopes, and I'm going to use, it's kind of a medium sized envelope. Let me measure it for you guys. So the envelopes I pulled are, they're about 6 inches, 6.5 maybe, 6.5 by 3 3/4. And so they just have a little window in them. I'm going to use these as flip outs in my journal. So when I make the journals, I will attach this on one of the pages and it will flip over. So like, where is a journal page? So if I have a journal page somewhere over here, I do have one. If I have a journal page like this, I'm going to attach my envelope to the side of the page like this, and it's going to flip over like this. And it will be a pocket up here at the top where a tag will go in. And then the last time I did this, I kind of covered this with something nice. And I think we put a hidden journaling spot or something back here. But anyway, I want to make up these. I'm not going to glue them to pages today, but I am going to make them up and decorate them and hopefully make some tags for them. And then these CD envelopes, same thing. I'm not sure. I'll probably sew them in the signature. All of this stuff has been copy dyed, but if I sew these in the signature, they will get sewn in kind of like this in the signature. And so when you sew it in, you're just going to have this little flap to the back side. And I'm going to leave that open so I can attach another page there later. But we'll make this. And then for this one, I'm thinking I'm going to cut off the top. And then I'll make a journal card that goes down in there. And again, you'll be able to see something pretty from the top, you know, from the tag that's in there. You could also cut it at the side. We talked about these last week and I was like, oh, that is a great idea. I forget that I have all these things and I need to include them in journals. So that's what I hope to work on. I brought in 3 of each so that I can kind of mass make them as much as, you know, you can mass make something when there's 3 of them in there. 34 in Chandler? Yes, I know. And then there was wind chill too. You're 14? Wow. That's very cold. In the Phoenix metro area. Snowing? I wish it was snowing. I would really love it if it snowed here. Just a little dusting, and sometimes we get it on the mountains near me, but not often. Okay, so I'm going to want to have some book page, maybe some paper doily, maybe some music paper, maybe some like printed bluish color digitals. The French blue color that I'm going to use comes from these. So I'm going to use the French blue that is from these antique letters. These letters are from like 1860, 1880. And so they are a very particular shade. I mean, they're multiple shades, but they're a very particular shade of French blue. And so this is the blue color that I'm going to use with all of the neutral color things. I'm hoping to keep it just with those colors, and I'm not going to add pink or anything like that. At least that's the plan that's in my head right now. But, you know, as I make things change. So as they do probably with all of you guys. But anyway, that's the blue color I'm thinking of. Let me put this ruler away. And so I have some rag paper books. And so I'm going to set these to the side for a second. I have some rag paper books. And the first thing that I need to do is I need to glue some rag paper pages together so that I can use them for tags and for pockets. And so all you're going to want to do is use rag paper if you have it. Rag paper is very cottony, kind of fibrous feeling. It has a very special texture to it that you can feel with your hands. And when you use rag paper in your journals, it is extremely durable. Like I could crumple this all up and just flatten it back out and it would be fine. But for this purpose, I'm just going to glue sets of 2 pages together. And so I'm going to be using a variety of sizes of these, as well as a variety of colors of these. You'll see color variation. And so when I talk about neutral colors, it's really just in this family of beiges and creams and whites. Again, though, you use whatever you want to use. I would really have loved to have taken these out as folios. But that's okay too. And so I'm just going to glue sets of 2 pages together there. I thought I had a third book. Do I have a third book? I do have a third book. And so this book is also rag paper. And so I'm just going to take out a section of that one. Normally I would cut the signature strings and take these out very nicely, but it is what it is today. And so if you want to prepare some bases for tags and pockets, It would be great if you have rag paper. If you don't have rag paper, don't stress about it because I have a million rag paper books that I bring at the live sales. So there's always rag paper available. We're going to take whatever book page you're using, even if you don't have rag paper, it will work just fine with regular book pages. I'm just saying the rag paper ones are that much stronger when you glue them together. So I'm just going to take two, and I need to get a piece of parchment paper. I forgot my parchment paper. So I use parchment paper to cover my workspace so that I don't use glue pages. I don't like to use glue pages. I did for a long time, and honestly, I just did not enjoy the glue pages. Okay. I need you guys to hang on a minute. I'm sorry. My son just texted me and he broke the thermometer and it has mercury. It's an old one and it's all over the bathroom floor. So I need you guys to hang tight for just 1 second. I will be right back. I'm so sorry. Just hang tight for a few minutes while I go figure out what we need to do about this. Okay, goodness. Thank you guys for waiting for me. I am so sorry about that. Oh my goodness. The things that happen around here. Okay, so we're gonna glue two book pages together. Rag paper if you have them, anything will work if you don't happen to have rag paper. We are just going to glue them. Like I was saying, I use the parchment paper because you can use it over and over and over again instead of using a book page for a glue book page where you have to like fold it and throw it away every couple of glues. Plus nothing will stick to this because it's got like a coating on it. So nothing sticks to it. You can literally use the same piece um, for like a month at least. But I mean, I just generally throw it away when it gets grungy because for filming it doesn't, it doesn't look the best. So you're going to make sure that you get your glue from edge to edge, hopefully not tearing corners like I just did. I'm all discombobulated. I was like so specific when we got the thermometer. I'm like, don't drop this. Don't break this. Oh, goodness. How are you guys doing out there? What are you guys up to for Friday night? Are you guys crafting along or are you chilling and relaxing after the busy week? So basically, I've got glue every single place that there is to get glue from edge to edge. And then I just kind of, put them together. It doesn't matter if they're not perfectly centered or lined up because we most of the time cut off some of this anyway, because we're going to cut these once they're dry. We're going to cut these into tags and into pockets. And then the good thing is after you layer these up, even like a thin rag paper page, once the glue is in there and there's 2 layers of it, they become very sturdy, but they don't add a lot of bulk to the inside of your journal. So this is a good way of making sturdy ephemera that won't be as like thick as cardstock. Because if you start with a really thick cardstock and then you layer all your stuff on, it just gets really, really thick. And if you're doing that for all of your ephemera, your journal will be super gator mouthed. So I do like using this for some things just because it's sturdy and it doesn't add bulk. So I'm going to let these dry. I'm going to do several of them while I read your chat. I appreciate you watching. I'm sorry it's so late for you. And thank you for whoever purchased on Etsy. I do appreciate that. Like I said, there's very little actual antique stuff, like the French things in Etsy, but I had hoped to have time to load more in there, but time, there just needs to be more than 24 hours in a day, I think. I don't know about you guys, but don't you go to bed every night thinking, oh, I wish I would have got more done today? That's generally what happens to me. I try to get it all the way to the edge. This one is a little thicker of a rag paper, so it will smooth down nicely. And then we pulled out, what else did we pull? These ones. These ones are kind of thin, but they'll be thick enough once we glue them. So we have some French dictionary, which is, I think this one is 1600s. It may be early 17s, but I think it's 16 because now I have the cover off and I don't know what one it is. But this one is probably 1800s. It might be 1700s. I'm not sure. But all of this is French rag paper. And then it just gives you a base layer too, where you're starting out with paper that is already antique. So you've already got that authentic age, to your tags in your pockets. And then when you're collaging on it, because it's already book page and it already has text on it, you kind of have a jump start to the collaging process because there's already text, So then you can add your pattern paper or something like that, your focal point, your label, etc. I liked making the little labels. That was super fun. For the video is it today? Yes, it's today's video. I really enjoyed making those labels. They were really fun. And I also want to go back and make some that have blue on the borders of them and some that have pink on the borders of them. And I think I will go ahead and stamp the images in blue and pink too. That way I have some cute little color coordinated labels. I find where I use mostly blue, pink, and of course neutral. So I glued 3 together there. I'm going to glue a couple more just because I need things to stick into the window envelope, and I need things to stick into that CD envelope. You'll know rag paper when you touch it. It's got a super, I don't know, it just feels super antique, and it's very strong. Like this paper, rag paper will never get crumbly. It's just, it's so good, you know. And they make rag paper artist pads and things like that today at the art store. And it's rag paper, but it's a different kind of rag paper. And so if you're not familiar with what rag paper actually is, it's paper that is literally made from recycled rags, which at this point in time was mostly linen, because it's, when you find rag paper books, they're usually printed before 1850, and it depends on which country you're getting them from. Like these French ones, they were printed, you know, honestly, after 1850, you hardly ever find rag paper, but most of the ones I have here are 17 and 1800s. This dictionary I know is older than that, but so the print date is one way you can tell if you have rag paper, but the texture is very unique. So after you start feeling it for, you know, you get a couple rag paper books, you're like, okay, now I can tell what's rag paper. But it's basically paper, instead of like today's paper being made from either wood pulp or you know, chemicals, basically. This paper is made from rags that have literally been shredded up into tiny little particles, tiny little fibers. And then it is usually mixed with some, you know, wood kind of pulpy things, some kind of other cellulose material. But basically those fibers from the clothing, from the rag, is what makes the paper so strong, yet so flexible. So like you could crumble this up and straighten it back out. But I'm just saying rag paper is my favorite things to play with. Honestly, it's just durable, and it doesn't ever get all flaky like old regular paper does, like pulpy paper. It gets all flaky and crumbly around the edges and stuff. Oh, Christella, is your son not feeling well? I'm so sorry. I know there's a lot of bugs going around right now. Lots of stomach flus we've heard of. We haven't had anything here, but lots of stomach flus. I know, like cold and flus. I know the COVID thing's still going. A whole lot of bugs going around. I'm getting super gluey and stuff sticking to me. There we go. So for everyone who is not feeling well, I do hope that you are feeling better soon and your son feels better soon, Christelle. My son had the thermometer because he still has a fever, but we won't talk about that. Oh my gosh. Poor kid. Okay, so I have in total 6, which should be plenty. So I'm going to set those to dry, and I don't want to leave them all piled up. I'll kind of space them out over here off to the side so that they can start drying. And then we will move on to collaging on these. I have some extras, which is always good. Collaging on these. So let's start with one of these, I think. And I'm going to put book page on them, I know. So it's a good thing I do have some extras over here. So I don't know if you guys will be able to see the texture of the rag paper. I think that you guys can. I can in my monitor, but there's a specific texture to that rag paper. So I'm going to start by putting some rag paper kind of down the side over here. You just got to pick which side you like the best. I think this is still 2. Pick which side you like the best. Not really a difference on this one. And then, let's see, should I try to... I think so. So I'm going to try to keep the page number in the top up here. And so I'm just going to kind of tear where I thought I could get kind of around the envelope, and then I'll edit it here in just a second. Okay. And so let's go a little bit more. And I'm just going to leave it a little bit over, I think. We'll see. And from there, I'm going to fold this little flap under. I don't want to accidentally get glue on it. And I think I can just put this over. I'm going to take a little more out of this section so I can see more of the window. Something like this. And then I'll do some more collaging down here in this bottom section, but for now I think that's good. So let's go ahead and glue that on. It's found in all different kinds of books. It just depends on the year that the printing is, because different countries used rag paper, the process of making that kind of paper at different times. And most of the stuff I buy is from France, and they have a lot of rag paper in the books I find. But here in America, you know, we're a much newer country. You know, France is a much older country. So here in America, we don't have as much rag paper as they do there. But also here in America, I think people have purchased most of what was out there or something to that effect. We just find a lot less of it in America than we do in France. And so I'm just going to try to guess where this is. Hopefully I am happy with my result. I would like it to be a little straighter. So I can play, even though this is thin, like, you know, rag paper comes in different thicknesses. The dictionary is very thick, and this one is very, very thin. Like, I mean, you could just crumple it. It's very thin. So I, even though it's thin, glued it on here and pulled it back off with no problem. Okay, so we ended up with that. I overglued a little bit, no big deal. So that I can see what I'm doing, I'm going to go ahead and trim this off on the back side. And then I will collage the bottom portion of it. And right now I'm not cutting it open any particular way. I don't want to cut this off. I love these little bits where it was, you know, sewn into the book originally. They have such little grungy edges to them. They're really quite fabulous to play with. But I thought about wrapping it around to the flap, but it will not cover the whole thing. So I cut it off. Anyway. Yes, I am in love with rag paper, but everybody here knows that. So I'm in love with paper in general. So we've got this going on at the top. I like that. I'm going to do some blue paper up through here, I think. And what I've done is I've just printed some just of my digital things that I've scanned. So I've got several of these because I want to use that, I think, in the CD envelope. But then I've got different shades of the French wallpaper. So if you guys were with me for live sales for a long time, at one of the live sales, I sold the blue French wallpaper digital, so just backgrounds of blue French wallpapers. If you guys purchased those, you probably have these papers. So I'm just looking for particular shades of blue right now. I think this one is a little too dark for me. This one is maybe a little more blue than I would like. So I'm just kind of going through there. I think it's going to be this one. It was the first one, and I think it's the right one. So I'm going to take a piece of this. If you guys have blue Florentine paper, remember I said when we had a blue Florentine paper that was kind of this color and it had some swirly things like this, I said I was going to be using that in this kit. If you have that blue Italian Florentine paper, I will be using it in the kits as well. But that is also a good option if you don't have the digital. Any type of, you know, blue Frenchy, blue antique, whatever will work. So I'm just going to tear a little section. I'm not sure exactly how high I want it to go up, but let's just tear a little section and see. And this is just printed at my home printer, and it's a 28-pound paper that I printed on. And I have the Epson EcoTank printer, in case anyone was going to ask me. I think I would like it to go up a little bit more. So maybe I'm going to tear it one more time. I don't know if you guys are like this, but it usually takes, because I'm so fussy about it, usually takes me several times of tearing it. So then I would have this weird angle if I go this way. If I just take it and go down here, I won't have the angle. But I'm trying to line up this edge with this little edge of the window. So I think I am going to do this. And I will just kind of have to tear off that point right there. I think so. So let's tear off this point right here. And I don't like my torn edges to be super pointy either. So I kind of try to tear off the points of them. And so now we're looking more like this, or yes, like this. That's pretty good. I want to be able to see a good section of my book page and a good section of blue. So I think that's pretty good for me. I'm going to go in down here at the bottom with something else, and I'll go up this side with something. I might go up the side with the blue. We'll have to see here in a second. But I think that's pretty good. So let me go ahead and glue that down. I'm loving the 365 videos because it allows me to play with a whole lot of different things than we had time to play with here before. So it has been really fun to get to do a lot of different things that, you know, we just didn't do here in the Craft with Me's before. It's really different and I'm really enjoying it. I don't want that point up so high. I want that to come down. There we go. That looks good. We've got that going. And I don't want to wrap anything over to the back at this point. So let me just let that dry for a second and then we'll do that. Now, I don't usually ink a whole lot in my journals. You totally could have inked all of these. I might ink around it when I'm done, but I'm not super big into inking. It's just personal preference. And you guys, you know, you have to do whatever your heart tells you to do when you make things. And mine says ink sometimes and it says ink other times. No. So no inking and inking. Can you print 12 on 12? 12 by 12? Yes, Crystal, I can. I'm going to, I think I'm going to put this blue up there. So we have this little torn edge here, and I could go right down there with some blue. So I'm just going to cut a strip of it, and we'll just go with that. Now you could have wrapped this to the back or whatever, but I think I'm good with just this little strip here. I like that little flower, and I would like to be able to save him. Yeah, we're just going to do it. He's almost too short. I almost got it too short. He needs retorn right here because there's a white tear edge. So I'm going to just barely tear that again because I don't have much room to work with. And then sometimes if you get that, you know, little jaggedy edge right there, sometimes really all it needs is you to take your finger and just kind of work that paper and smooth it out. So I'm going to try to do that to where it's a little less crunchy. There we go. Okay, so I got this little situation going right here. We're going to have to fix that. Yeah, see, now I'm too short here. But I'm still going to do it because we're going to come in with something else up here. So we're good. Let's glue. And for this one, I think I'm just going to glue my envelope. If I get some on that window, it's okay. I have a baby wipe. I could wipe it off. It just seemed easier. All right. So then that's going there. So basically you're just collaging over your envelope, trying not to go over your window with your paper, but here we go. Okay. So then I guess I can trim these off now so we can kind of see where we're at. All right, there's those. And that guy. He's still got glue on him. Okay. The 365, it's definitely a lot of dedication. I don't think I quite understood what I was getting myself into, but in all honesty, I will not give it up. It is so much fun. I love it. So we're in for the long haul with that one. Now I just have this bottom section here, and I could wait at this point and like figure out what kind of decoration we're going to put on there, because that will cover up part of that too. So let me kind of think about what we're going to decorate this guy with. You know, I have the Victorian ladies I could put on there, but honestly, I'm thinking of flower or something botanical. I'll do flowers if they don't have like I'm not talking about doing like super bright colored flowers. But I might do like a more neutral or a little botanical that has a little bit of color, but only teeny tiny little bits. That's my goal. So, and I know a lot of you will make journals that have lots of colors and that's totally good. You know, it's good that we all make different things. Okay, so let me think about a botanical, about getting a botanical for up through here, and then something else here at the base. And what do I have that I printed? I think we're going to go with a paper doily that's going to come up through here, and then we'll put the botanical on top of it. Let me grab a paper doily. Let me grab a paper doily. Oh, I want to show you guys this too. Somewhere in here is a paper doily, I promise. I'm going to put 2 links in for you guys tonight. Paper doilies. I know I have one. Here it is. Well, here is one. So I'm going to continue building this guy. I'm going to put this paper doily down here. And then I want to show you guys a couple things I want to use. I was going to show them on Tuesday, but I'm going to show you guys a couple things I'm going to be using with the kits that are not necessarily included in the kits. So let me show you, and I will link them. So if you guys want them, you can go get them. Let me see. There's a Stamperia paper pad, and some of these things, the paper pads are linked for tomorrow's video because I use the blue one in there, but I'm going to show you the paper pad that I'm going to use, and I want to link it for you guys. So here's a link to this paper pad. This paper pad is called this is an Amazon link. So I don't sell this. This is not anything to do with me selling, but this is something I'm going to use in the journal. I think it goes really well with what we're going to do here. So I just want to show it and share it so that when I pull pages out of it, you guys have the chance to already get it, you know, ahead of your kit and stuff like that. So this is called Stamperia Blues. That's really all it says right here. And so the whole paper pad is these gorgeous, it's the same French blue letters that I showed you right there. Like, I mean, they're the same. So I think it goes really well with what we're doing. And so Stamperia is 12 by 12 paper. It's really pretty. All different shades. Like some of it is a darker blue. Some of it, you know, it's not quite necessarily what I'm looking for, but there is a lot of things in here that I am looking for. So I linked this one for you guys. I'm going to be using some. You don't have to have this. I'm just saying I'm going to use it. Specifically, I love this page. It's got all these like lacy textures behind it. So definitely using some. But it's like got the French letters. It's got French handwriting. It's got some text back there. So that's the Stamperia Blue pad. So I don't know if you guys want it, grab it. If you don't want it, don't grab it. The link I put in is my Amazon link. And obviously, you know, when you guys shop through the Amazon link, it gives me a very small, like 1% or something commission. Maybe it's not even 1%. I don't really know, but it's very little and it doesn't cost you guys anything. And so I'm going to use that. And the other thing I'm going to use is this. And I know this is not like a whole shopping thing, but I'm going to show you what I'm going to use because you guys always ask. And then I'm like, oh, this is from my stash. So let me just show you what it is so you guys have the chance to get it so that you guys can use it. This one, I don't know if it's available anymore because I've had this for a little bit. So what is this actually called? Okay. This one. Okay. So these are collage papers from 49 in Market Street. And I'm going to use these in the journal as well. And I might use a botanical out of one right now. So there's two little links for you guys. These are 49 in Market. They're called collage sheets. It's actually from a collection called Eucalyptus. But the Eucalyptus collection, there's things that are mine in here because, like I said, I've been using this. I've had this for a while. But there's botanicals in here that I was thinking of pulling out and putting on this envelope. But then there's my little Victorian ladies also. So from 49 in Market Street, obviously these are from my French fashion magazines, but there's these little things like the little botanical, the little bird. They come in collage sheets. So all of this, not this, not this, this is not this, but these sheets here, they're all just like collage paper. So it's a thin printed paper and it has like color coordinated families. They have a bunch of different ones of these, but they're very, very pretty. So some of it isn't going to go with what we're doing, but a lot of it is going to go with what we're doing. And again, I'm not selling this. It's not mine. It has nothing to do with me other than I think it's really cool. It has a lot of nice images in it and they're not very expensive. I mean, you get quite a bit of playing time. It's actually probably taking away from what I'm selling, but I have it and I'm going to use it. So I mean, compared to what these things would cost if they were the actual antique things, like they would cost an arm and a leg. So there's botanical book pages. There's just all kinds of things in here. So you get all of this in one pack. I've linked it for you guys. Now you guys know where I'm getting some stuff from. So that's what I'm going to use in the journal. I started to pull some of these more blue tones, and I'm going to put some of them on these tags right here eventually. But anyway, I wanted to pull out this botanical image because I was thinking maybe I could tear around that because I don't mind this one. It has just a tiny little bit of blue in it. Can I tear around that or should I just kind of put it down here? Maybe I could fussy cut around it and put it on. I just need to make sure that I'm covering up this little section right here. I think I was going to do a doily. Let's look at a doily. Blues is gone. Uh-oh. Is it all sold out? Is that what it says? I usually try to link things when they're like in stock, but again, I bought that a little while ago. I think the doily is really cute there, and I kind of like the way it's going over even over the window. So I'm going to do that. I don't know what I'm putting in here yet or a focal point, but I'm going to glue this doily on. And so I'm going to use art glitter glue up here in the little lacy part, and I'm going to use the glue stick on the bottom part. And so how I put the glue stick on for a doily is I just go ahead and smear it on there and up in here where I think that doily is going to go. And then for the tip of it, right in here, I need to go up just a little bit more with my glue stick. So I use glue stick for most of it. And then the little tip part that's going to go on the actual window, I'm going to put art glitter on. And so I kind of put it down and I go ahead and get my fingers all gluey and smush it in there. Smush that over there. And then from here, I'm going to give it a quick trim. Sorry if I linked something that's sold out. I try to share with you guys. I do love the blue paper though. You could probably find it other places also. Anyway, there's that. Let's go ahead and finish gluing up this side right here. And then I will get the art glitter in there and get some on these little points. So I'm just going to take the art glitter and hit all of the little points that I can hit. Because it's going to stick on the plastic of the window envelope, it's going to need a really strong glue. The Yoo-hoo probably would have worked, but gluing the paper doily when it is all fragile like this is kind of difficult. So we're going to get it with art glitter, and I think that's going to be good. So I'm going to let the art glitter sit for a minute. If you ever worry about your art glitter glue seeping out of the edge of something, if you let it sit after you put it on for just a few seconds, it starts to thicken once it hits air. And so when you do put it on, you're going to get a lot less squishing out and all of that kind of stuff, because it kind of started to thicken for a few seconds before you pushed it down on there. So I think we did pretty good there. We covered a good bit of our little window here, but we're leaving just a little space here for like a face to show through, which is what I was hoping for. And now we have space down here at the bottom where I can come in and put a label and a focal point going up that side probably. I'm thinking it's going to be a little botanical flower, and then there will be a label down here. And then for the tag inside, I'll probably put a person of some sort with their face showing through the window. So I'm going to do, not necessarily right this second, but I am going to do 2 more that are nearly identical to this one so that I can put 1 in each of the 3 journals. Hello, Kendall. I have missed you. Hello. Happy New Year to you guys too. Still decorating your Christmas journal. So this is the Christmas journal that came from the kit that we did for Christmas. So this was the last one that we did as a kit. And so my lights are super bad for showing this kind of thing. But this is just the progress that I made in mine. It's basically finished. I just need to do a couple tiny little things like put the closure on and things like that. But this is the one that we made for Christmas. And so it's got all of its ephemera in it already, but it's just, you know, somebody was asking me to do a journal flip through, and I'm like, I have done journal flip throughs. They're on there. There's a lot of them on there, but you know, several, I guess, not really a lot. I do them live usually, like when I finish a journal or when we finish a journal, but I can show you the Christmas one that Kendall and I are working on, I guess. Probably a lot of you are still working on the Christmas one, but it's just going to be here for next year, probably. I don't know. I have this lace to sew on there for a tab. Yeah, see, it's nearly finished. Nearly. Every pocket has ephemera in it. It's ready to go. It needs a closure and just a couple little finishing touches. But that's that one. This stuff gets clipped in here, but finishing touches. And then this goes here. And that's that. So this is a kit journal. This is what we, you know, if you bought the kit when this kit was sold, this is the journal that could be made from that kit. Not every single little piece is included in there. I had to use some things from my stash, but this is, you know, typical stuff that was included in a kit. Like this is authentic French ledger that was included in the kit. The copy dyed paper was included. The doily was included. Everything to make the cover was included. So that's just an example of a kit. The ledger, I know, I love that ledger, but thank you for saying that. I do love that ledger. Well, hello and thank you. Hello and thank you to everyone who's new. Hello and thank you so much for joining. I know a lot of you guys have been watching the 365 videos, and I just want to say thank you. Awesome for I just thank you guys for all the support, the awesome comments that you guys have been leaving for the videos. Just thank you so much. I really appreciate all the support. You love yours. You're going to keep it, Kendall? That's awesome. There is one that's winter themed. I'm not doing that because I'm not doing like that one is Christmassy and I'm not doing that kind of a thing. That's why I didn't use it, but it is one that is also blue colored. Yeah, there's several. If you use the link to get to Etsy, anything that you purchase on there will still qualify to help me out also. Even pet food. Okay, so we did this. Let me put this back at least over here. I have that to play with. I don't want to lose my ladies because that's a work in progress. I need to get this out of the way now. And we need to find a CD envelope. And then we're going to work with our book pages. Are they dry yet? They're pretty much dry now. So we can cut these into tags and we can play with those. So let's go ahead and make a tag. Obviously, I'm going to slice off the top up here, so I might as well just go ahead and do it. I'm just going to slice the smallest little sliver here to get it open at the top. And so when I said smallest, like it's very small. Okay. And so now we have this situation where the envelope is open because it was sealed closed because it was an envelope, but now it's open up there. I'm not going to worry about this part being open right now because when I glue this to a page as a flip out, that's when we will worry about that back part. But for now, we can go ahead and worry about putting a thumb hole notch in here and making a tag for it. Now, when I put my title all the way up here, the title of the page all the way up here, I'm just leaving myself a tiny little sliver for a thumb hole notch. So I like to use the Stampin' Up! One. You guys know that if you've been watching the videos. The Stampin' Up! One to do my thumb hole notches. And since that window envelope is all open now, it really does make it nice for doing a little thumb hole notch. So I'm just going to center that as best as I can and take just the smallest little slip. Oh, I was going to take the smallest little sliver out of it. I've been having to use two hands to do this. I don't think I'm centered there either. We'll see about there. Just the tiniest little notch there. And I probably will ink the notch when I ink all the way around it. But let's go ahead and make a tag that fits in there. And so for tags, I'm going to use one of these as the base. And I'm thinking it's going to be this guy. He's kind of sturdy. So let's use him. And let's get the cutter up. So now I have mercury all over the bathroom floor that I have to clean up when we're done. I'm not really sure how to clean mercury up. I guess I will figure it out. So my envelope is just shy of 3 3/4. It's really just shy of it. So I'm going to end up having to make a tag that is like 3 1/4 so that it fits. It can be a slightly larger than 3 1/4. So I'm going to start off by slicing off this excess white border right here. I don't really need that for my tag. So I'm just going to slice that off. I usually save these to try to stamp on them or do something else with them. And so I know that I only have like 3 1/4 or slightly over. I'm going to try for like between 3 1/4 and 3 1/2. I'm going to try. I'm going to see if that fits in there. And then I'll save this too. You guys know I like to make little dangles and things out of those. And then for height, our little pocket, I've already forgot what he measures, is like 6 1/2-ish. So I'm going to go 6 1/2-ish. I'll make an adjustment here in a second. Got some little pieces to save. I'm going to see if this will fit in there. You're going to have to make your tag whatever size your envelope is. And so right now he sticks out of the top. I don't know that I mind that. I'm probably maybe even going to put a tab there. I'm not sure. He's got a thumb hole notch, so he doesn't necessarily have to have one. But I think for now I'm going to leave that. So let's work on doing this tag, and hopefully we can get these finished up here. I don't want to use the doily, probably don't want to use the blue because we just used it. So maybe we go with that collage paper. Maybe we put some collage paper on here. This is the blue music paper that I had out, and this is some blue little text. I don't know if it's the right shade of blue, but it's close. We could go something like that. I could just put the lady on there. I know that I want the lady's face to show through the window. Where is the other lady? I picked her out. You could also have like a bird showing through the little window. That would be kind of cute. Or a flower showing through the window. Okay, oh, there she is. I'm like, I know I had another lady cut out. I did. Now, will she show through there? Not really. I would have to cut off her bustle to get her to fit in there. Which, you could, but I don't know. Do we want to put her on there with some other text? Generally, I don't like to do text on text. I would rather do like music with text. This is just kind of a small piece of music too. So I don't know that we need to put that on here. I mean, it would need torn down quite a bit to go on there. And then we would have to also put something else. So I don't know. It's not terrible, but I don't know. Let me see what it would actually look like through the window. The writing part can take a little bit, can't it? So let me see how this looks in here. If I kind of scoot her over a little bit. Yeah, her bustle needs trimmed off for sure. We would end up with something like this, and then there would be a flower going up the front. Not terrible. I kind of like it. I might just do it. And even if this tag ends up not working for this envelope thing, I'll have a tag done for somewhere else. So in that pack of collage paper, now I'm going to get it out and I'm going to play with it. I'm still thinking about this, but there's other blue paper in here. There's blue text here on this edge. Kendall, this paper pack is right up your alley, hun. If you don't have this paper pack, you're going to want this paper pack. I linked it up above. It's the what is this called? Oh my gosh. 49 in Market Street. I can never get the numbers right. 49 in Market Street. And it has some greens, some light greens in it too. But it also has that blue paper color that you love just as much as I love. It has those. Somewhere in here, there was this paper with butterflies on it. Look at this one, Kendall. Look at this one. And it's blue. Like, it's your color of blue. So, Kendall, I know you're going to love this one. These blue butterflies. What about those? I think I want the lady showing through the window, but yes, I want the lady showing through the window. But the butterflies are cool, and we could use them somewhere. I don't know where yet. They don't work, but it's somewhere. See, this is the picky part, and I need to not be picky right now. I want handwriting. And while I could use my own handwriting, it also includes a paper of blue handwriting. So let's use this blue handwriting and put on here. I think it's much better for this lady. The music is good too, but I'm going to put this blue handwriting on here. And so I'm just going to tear this. And I tore it really rough. And it is what it is. And it's going to go on there. And then I'm going to have to cut off some of her bustle to get her to go on there. But I do like that. That'll work. And I'm not going to ink because I just don't like to ink. And I'm going to glue it. I know. I'm trying to come up with ways for you guys to use your 12 by 12 scrap of paper. I'm trying. This glue stick is wet. So I will say the 49M Market paper, you know how their regular scrapbook paper is really nice and thick. The collage papers are thin on purpose so that you can layer them up and collage with them. So just so you know, if you're expecting them to be the normal 49M Market thick paper, they're not. And that's okay. Like, they're good the way they are. They're for collage, and that is their purpose. Probably don't want that at an angle right there. So let me re-tear this top right here. There we go. Better. Okay. And then a little bit, hopefully I can get to stick to there. I usually end up with little bits of paper all over my fingers by the end of the night. Okay. We've got this lady. She's going to go on here. She's going to have her bustle cut off a little tiny bit, but it's okay. Now, because she's cut from, this is an actual one from the French fashion magazines. If you guys want the French fashion magazines, I can bring them on Tuesday. We have some new ones of those too. So these ladies, they're from 1800s Victorian French fashion magazines. And the magazines are really full of all these, you know, their French fashion advertisements of what's in style, basically. And so you can cut out the little ladies like I did here from the French fashion. You can scan them and cut out the scans too. You don't have to use originals. I have some that when I disassemble the books or I find them and like the pages are torn here or there, I save those ones for myself to craft with because, you know, obviously I'm not going to sell the damaged ones to you guys, but so that's what I'm crafting with is the damaged ones, which is partly why I'm using the original, because otherwise I would probably just scan and use the scanned ones. And I'm going to do, for the 365 videos, I'm going to do the watercolor pencil thing again, guys. So you guys who have been with me for a long time, first of all, thank you. And second of all, I'm trying not to do duplication during 365, but because it's 365 days, there's going to be duplication occasionally of things that I've done here on my channel with people before. So I try not to, but I'm going to do a watercolor with these ladies. And so she's going to go down here. I need to scoot her over so she shows through that window. A good way to judge it is to line it up with it. Or close, probably. I'm going to stick her there. And so I glue sticked her, which she is kind of fragile because, you know, it's an 1880s newspaper. So she's kind of fragile. Okay, I think she's good enough. And that little bustle part, I'm just going to trim off here in a second. I'll give it a minute to dry. But that's where we're at with that. She's going to go inside of there. I think she does need a lace tab sewn at the top, just to help her go in and out of that envelope too. So I think we're going to do a lace tab. I do want to cut it into a tag shape, I believe, because it's just, you know, the envelope is squared off. This is squared off. So I think we can go ahead and snip it. I have to trim one more time. There we go. I knew as soon as I did it, I was like, no, I don't think you got that good enough. And I'm just going to ink lightly around it. So I didn't ink the elements on the tag, but I will ink just lightly because it's fresh cuts all the way around, right? And so I'll ink that part in just a second. Did I miss questions, guys? Anybody have questions? Did I miss anything you guys need me to know? Go ahead and type it in and I'll look right now. Okay, so there's that. And then for the back for writing space, I will probably put coffee dyed paper on there, but I may, because it's decorative and it's got the super old dictionary paper on it, I might just put like a torn piece of coffee dyed paper that's just showing some text around it still. We'll have to see how it goes. But for now, we've got this going. And she will go inside of here. She's not done. I still need to work on the tag a little bit. But her face is pretty good in there. There is a little coffee dye right here on the envelope. I might wipe that off with a baby wipe just because it makes her face a little, you know, I don't know. It's harder to see her there. So we might wipe that off. But generally, I try to get coffee. I mean, I like the coffee on the envelope. I don't know if you guys can see, but there's coffee right there. Anyway, we're doing pretty good with her. She needs a label and a little bit of something else. I kind of wish I would have put some lace or something behind her. But anyway, this is where we're at with these two. Let's go ahead before we run out of time or anything. Not that we're close, but let's go ahead and work on one of these. And for this one, I think my base is going to be the copy dyed 12 by 12 cardstock. Reason being is for these CD envelopes, it's such a big window here that the envelope is kind of flimsy just because this is so open. And I want something really sturdy to go in there. These are sturdy, but I think I would prefer something like cardstock to go in here. So I'm going to go ahead and work on making the card that's going to go in here. And then after we decorate the card, I will decorate and do a little collaging on the envelope. I'm not going to cover the entire envelope. At least that's not my plan right this second. My plan is to just do a little bit of collage around the bottom and maybe this edge. I'm not sure yet. But let's go ahead and cut the card to the right size. You like the tag, Kendall? It's okay if I repeat some things. It's just kind of, I don't know, 365. I might have to recycle a few things that I've already done here on my channel, you know. Organization. Oh my goodness, organization. That's a hard thing. We have so many different supplies for junk journals, right? Like organization is hard because, you know, if you're into oil painting, you're into oil painting and you have oil painting supplies, but junk journals, because they literally can be anything and they can be made from anything and they can have anything in them. We really do accumulate quite a bit of supplies. So I think for us, just storage is a challenge in general because of the amount of supplies that we can accumulate. And then even when we have supplies, like I know Tim Holtz isn't making new things anymore, but lots of other designers are still making new things. I mean, new things are still coming out, but he's not, you guys know what I mean. New things are coming out all the time. And so it's hard because we all want all the new things, right? But we have to have storage for all the new things too. And we can just, you know, junk journals can have anything and be made of anything and they can have anything inside of them. It's a whole lot of supplies, like beading. It's a whole hobby that you then have to have a section of your craft room for. Beads for dangles and beads for charms and beads for whatever else, beading on the spine in the signature strings. Like there's just all kinds of things, right? And so I think, yeah, this just needs a trim. I cut it just slightly too big. I'm going to make it so that it really fits in there nicely. Hopefully it's cut straight, but I want to leave myself a little bit of room so that it slides in and out easy. Okay. And then I'm just going to take a little tiny bit off this side. I'll go 1/4 of an inch. Okay. So for my CD envelope, I'm assuming they're all basically standard sized CD envelopes. I ended up cutting the cardstock for the tag at 4 3/4. 4 3/4 by just almost 4 3/4. I did it a little more narrow on one side. And the envelope for the CD envelopes, they all should be the same size for the large ones. I know they make small ones too, but the envelope is nearly 5. Yeah, nearly 5 squared. So we should be good with that for a tag. Now, I cut my tag basically to fit inside of my CD envelope. You could have left your tag stick out the top and then cut it, you know, at an angle so that it would be an actual tag in there. I just like the whole tag to disappear and then have a tab at the top where you pull it out of. So that's what I'm working on here. Let's go ahead and put something on the background of this one. I have all these lovely things here to play with. I really did like that little bird wherever he was. He disappeared again. There was a little bird right here. So I don't know if we could get him in there. Maybe the butterflies in there. Let's see. Maybe we do like some book page or maybe music paper with this blue text page. This is blue here. Maybe we do music paper with the blue text and we get this bird on there. I think that sounds like a good plan for me. I like it. Let's do it. Let's attempt to do it. So I need music paper. Need to grab that. Hello, Grandma's Gone Crafty. Hello and welcome. Hello and welcome, everyone. You're into everything. I think we all are into everything. Honestly, I think that is what attracts us to junk journaling, is that we get to play with everything. When you go to the craft store, the whole entire craft store is for us. We can use yarn. It might be hard, but you could use yarn. We could use beads. We can use all the little metal findings. We can use all the mixed media things. We can use the clay and the resin and everything in the craft store. We can use the fabric, the sewing, the lace, the trims, everything. And so that's kind of why storage is hard, is because it's not just one hobby. It's basically little sections of every hobby that we have to then find storage for. Let me grab music paper. Music paper. So I grabbed a couple things. I grabbed some antique handwriting. This is the robin's egg blue paper. I grabbed some of that, and I did grab some music paper. I have a bunch of music pages here. Like there's like hymnal books or something without words. I kind of like the word ones. We'll see. It's more about how the music notes are spaced for me, and I decide what I like from there. So we have some options. I have this massive pile of papers that I just keep shoving off to the side over there. So these type of antique, like this is just a scrap from one, but these are the type of antique documents we sell on Tuesday. We sell all different kinds of things on Tuesday, but things like this, a lot of things like this. Like right here, this is a pile of antique French documents. And so we sell things like this. These are like mostly robin's egg blue ones here on the top, but we have a whole lot of those. I have some things that came from France, and they're just bundles of antique documents, and they've been wrapped up for a really long time. I think from like the 20s and the 30s. And I don't know what's in them because when I bought them, nobody opened them. So we could open them and see what is in them if you guys wanted to later on. They've been sitting behind me for like a month now, and I've been dying to open them up and see what is in them because it's just a whole big, let me show you one. I'll tease you guys a little bit. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So like these. Or maybe I should just sell them the way that they are, all bundled up. Gosh, I knocked over my cutter. But see, this is receipts and stuff from 1905 to 1906. And it's just a big bundle of things tied with string. And no one's ever opened it. So I don't know what's in here either. This one is from 1907, 8, and 9. And so see, it's all like handwritten. All of this stuff is French. So receipts and stuff. But they're kind of yummy this the way they are all closed up. So I don't know if I'm gonna open them or not. But look at how awesome the top of this one looks. Like, we would love to create a journal that had all of these layers, all just, perfectly aged and bent like that. We would love that as a journal. So I don't know, but they're pretty good sized packets. Like, they're not going to be inexpensive. They weren't inexpensive for me to get, but I'm just saying, I don't know what's in here. There could be treasures in here. I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. But maybe we take a peek at one. I don't know. There's, I don't know, 6 of them or something like that. But they're pretty good bundles. Uh-oh. My cutter. I keep bumping it. Okay, back to what we were doing. I'll quit teasing. Don't knock over everything on my table either. I will say the Tim Holtz cutter is loud. It's just the way it's made with that floppy little thing. Okay, so back to what we were doing. No teasing. See, I got grungy stuff everywhere now. Okay, the bird and this and music paper to go into this. I think I want more. See how this music is really tight together? There's like, it's very, very busy. I think I want something that's more open like this, because we're going to have some other focal points to it. So I think I want this music. Not positive, but I think that's what I want. And do I want to put book page back there and then music and then this? I don't know. I don't usually like to do 2 texty things together. So let's just try with this music paper first. Like I said, if I don't end up liking it, I'm sure I could use it somewhere. So for this guy, I'm just going to glue this whole entire thing, and we're going to put that music page on it, and I'll cut it off. And I'm trying to get all the way to the edge. But see what I mean about using the parchment paper, though? I have not moved my parchment paper or cleaned it or folded it or anything. And I can just keep gluing and working on it. And this will dry. And there's already glue down here, but it just dries, It's good. Now, it is super fun when your cardstock curls up like that and you're trying to stick paper on it. But I'm going to try to keep these music notes right here. So I'm just trying to line it up. I got gluey fingerprints and it's crooked, but I'm going to try to straighten it out there. I think we're pretty good there. Whether I like it or not, that's where we are. And so, see, I just put this face down right there. It's totally fine. I picked it right back up. It doesn't stick to it. I'm telling you guys, parchment paper, the kind that you would put on like a cookie sheet, it's really so much easier to work with than glue book pages that are constantly like, getting stuck to everything. And you never know, is it too gluey? Can I get one more thing glued before I have to flip over the page or whatever, It's just life-changing. So is copy dyeing your 12 by 12 cardstock. Just go to Hobby Lobby and get a nice big pack of 12 by 12 white cardstock and just spend, an hour, maybe half an hour. I don't know how long it takes to dye 100 sheets, not long. And just copy dye it, and then you're good to go. So we did pretty good getting the music notes on that side. I think we're good there. Open. Oh my gosh. You guys are so funny. You reminded me of that Mervyn's commercial. We talked about that around Christmas time too. Okay, so I think this is going to go somewhere in that area, and this is going to go somewhere. So it I think I want to fussy cut it. I'm not positive. This may be an inking situation where I just ink around them and leave them square in there. I think it needs torn. I really do. I think it's going to need to be torn. Maybe not. Should we go square or should we tear and cut out? I guess we're going square. I don't know. Let me see it inked around. So these are collage papers and they're really thin. So like inking, you might have to do the whole inking on the side of the table thing. You can try, but again, they're thin. I need the corners to be a little more inky. I like my corners to have a little darker look to them than the rest. And now it kind of looks like an old book page that came out of a book instead of like bright white and brand new. I'll ink around the blue one too, but maybe we will just do that. And maybe I'll keep him up high so I can put a label over here. Let's ink this one too. Dyeing papers, it is kind of messy, but you know, it's kind of part of this. We're all fighting the white edge. Now, the white page. I'm not saying that it's bad to put a white page in a journal. There's lots of beautiful journals that have white pages in them. But I think most of us try to cover it all up, either through stenciling or, you know, coffee dyed paper kind of taped or not taped, but glued to the back of everything. I'm not re-inking because I want this ink to be light on here. And if I re-ink, I know I'll get super dark. So I've just kind of inked around the whole thing, even though we'll cut some off. So I think we're going to go there. I wish that I could see the flora up there. I just don't want my bird. Maybe I could trim him down just a hair. He won't be perfectly rectangular anymore, but I really want to see the word flora. If I'm going to put a bird and kind of naturey stuff, I want to see the word flora. So I've re-inked after I cut him. And at least now I can get the word flora in there. Although he really does need to go up so I can put a label here, because it's kind of like the composition is 3 different things. And so he really needs to go up there. I'm going to trim him down again. You guys are going to get tired of me cutting, but I'm going to trim him down again. And you really should probably use a trimmer. I mean, I should, because I'm not really great with freehand cutting. I don't know why. I just cannot cut straight to save my life. Like if we looked at my scraps right now, it just doesn't happen. Anyway, so I think we're good now. I'm sorry for having to do that so many times. It just didn't look right and I couldn't get what I wanted to get showing. So he's going to go up higher and I'm going to get part of the word flora, and I'm leaving this space down here so I can put a label. I think that's what I'm doing. I'm pretty sure that's what I'm doing. Maybe I could go like this. I think we just need to do it and then we get what we get and we deal with it afterwards. That seems like a good plan to me. So this is the top part and I'm going to glue and glue. Can you imagine if I had to decorate though in a 15-minute video? This is what I'm saying. Like you would have to cheat and get all your stuff ready ahead of time and then attempt to like, you know, oh, here, look, I found this and, you know, was I putting it here? Was I putting it there? I think we're putting it here. I've changed my mind a bunch of times. Anyway, if you were going to decorate in 15 minutes, you would have to have everything pre-picked out ahead of time. And that's kind of cheating. Like I kind of cheat, but by planning ahead, but I'm really trying to just do it in 15 minutes, you know? And I try to do the videos in one take too, because, you know, I think that if it's just 15 minutes, if I can make it in 15 minutes, I need to make it in real time. Like I don't need to, I try to pause occasionally when it's just something super boring, but I kind of feel like that's cheating. I think they kind of should be 15-minute projects that everyone can make in 15 minutes. That's my goal anyway. Doesn't always happen. But if I had to decorate like this, I would not be able to be picky or choosy, and I would just have to just make what we make. And I don't feel like that would be the best crafting I could do. Okay. So we're going to stick this little bird on here, and we're just getting what we get with them. I do have some little piece of paper right here. Probably came off of my fingers. I have glue everywhere. Yeah, see, you need to get a glue eraser right here. I might be able to get it with my finger. Sometimes you get like little bits of glue stick on your image, and if you rub them kind of like an eraser, it comes off. I'm going to let this piece dry for just a minute, and then I'm going to cut it off. I shouldn't have glued all that way, but I don't want to lose that little bit, so we're going to let that dry. Hibiscus, oh my gosh, I have dyed with hibiscus. It is beautiful. Hibiscus tea, they actually have on Amazon hibiscus tea, and it's dried hibiscus. It comes in a bag, and it's meant for making hibiscus tea that you can drink, but it's just dried hibiscus flowers. And if you boil those, you get a really beautiful pink dye. It's a nicer pink, and you can't mess it up. It always comes out pink. Where if you do avocado, sometimes it comes out pink and sometimes it doesn't. I got a really good pink most of the time. However, it takes a little bit of work, like scraping the whole inside of the avocado out and stuff like that. The hibiscus tea, it's just dried hibiscus flowers, and you just boil it, and then you put your paper in, and then it's pink. It's beautiful. So that's available on Amazon. You can probably find it at grocery stores, but it's hibiscus tea. I mean, you could use real hibiscus flowers, but honestly, you'd have to have quite a bit of them. So I'm really happy with that. We might put like a little label in this area. I'm just trying to wait for that to dry, but I'm going to cut it off. Since you've been sick, your tea bag stash has grown. I'm sorry you're ill. I hope you start feeling better soon. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry over there, and I'm going to trim off this tiny little bit here. Good. I think we can let that one go, even though it's blue. I have done cabbage, blueberry, blackberry, hibiscus, avocado, spinach, a whole bunch of things. So a couple years ago, because it's been a few years now, I used to have dyed paper and sell dyed paper on Etsy. And a couple years ago, Gail used to buy my dyed papers all the time when I had them. I don't have them in Etsy anymore. But when I had them there, Gail would buy my dyed papers. She loved them. She still uses them. She still has a supply of them. And honestly, if she asked me to make her more, I probably would. But so she used to buy the dyed papers, and she would share with everyone where she got them from and stuff. And so one year my Etsy store was the top Etsy store for dyed paper. And I think, her sharing definitely helped with that. I mean, I'm super thankful for her for doing that. But that was like a big thing, dyeing that much paper for people. I dyed over 100,000 sheets of paper in 1 month. It was an astronomical amount of paper. I dyed paper from the time I got up in the morning until the time I went to bed, which was like 1 o'clock in the morning. And I got up at like 6 or 7. It was crazy to dye that much paper. But this is where we ended up with that so far. I know I'm going to use it at the top, but I do want to sew it in before I cut it, because if I cut it now, it's going to be floppy and it's going to be harder to sew in. But I'm going to slide this in here so we can kind of see what it's going to look like. So again, it's got coffee on the front of the envelope, which just makes it look more aged. But that's where we've got. So you can see I do need that little label over here. And I think one of the ones I made the other day with like a little butterfly would be super cute right there. They're in the other room. But we'll put a little label off in this area. And now we just need to focus on the envelope. I could totally leave it the way it is. And remember, my journal card is going to come out the top, and I'm going to have a tab on it to pull it out of the top. but we could do a little collage work on the envelopes down here. And then I would need to make 2 more of everything we've made so far. Dyeing paper is really fun though, guys. I encourage you guys to get into dyeing paper for your journals. It is fun. Yes, it makes a little bit of a mess, but maybe in the summertime when it's a nice day outside, maybe you guys, can dye some paper out there where it's not such a mess in your kitchen. Yes, and if that matters to you, you can add baking soda, but for the most part, the dyed paper is going to stay stable long enough. If you're really concerned for like 100 years, generations, whatever, then you can get a pH monitor, little test strips, and you can test your dye and adjust your baking soda to make the alkalinity less, so that you can make it more acid free. Sometimes you can't get rid of all of the acid depending on what you dyed with, but a lot of times you can adjust it down to where, it's not going to be an issue. Yes. Manila folders. Yep. You can dye everything. You can dye literally everything. Should I take it out? Maybe I should leave it in while we decorate it. No, I'm going to take it out. We'll leave it over there so I can see what it looks like. So we just need to add a little bit of stuff right here. I know that I want to add some handwriting here. We have this little bit left of this kind. I'm not sure that I want blue. I think I want some of the, if you guys, from the live sale people, who have shopped with me before, if you guys have the Italian, handwritten pages, not Italians, from Spain, the Spain handwritten pages, that's what I'm going to use right here. So let me go grab a Spain page. We have some Spain pages right here. So these are some antique pages from Spain, and I just want to find one where I like the handwriting. The handwriting needs to be fairly small so that it will fit nice on there. So I don't know what year these are from, but 1800s, 1886. That one's kind of nice. Let me see what else we've got. This is really thick paper. I would prefer a thin page. Maybe like this one. Sorry. My pages are a mess. Let me see what else I can find. This I think is a little too big of handwriting. I need something that's small handwriting and thin paper. I think this one will work if it gives it to me. Okay. And for anyone really into history, all of the things I get, yes, they are treasures for us junk journalers, but the countries that have sold these things, they sold them because they were not like life-changingly rare or worth millions of dollars that anyone knew about anyway. So, I don't destroy things. I repurpose things that might have ended up in a landfill. Let me get that put up there. And let's work on collaging the bottom of the CD envelope. How are you guys doing out there? Are you guys having a good time? I hope that you guys have fun here. So it's going to sew in the journal. It's important that I collage the right part of it. It's going to sew in the journal like that. So I'm going to collage the bottom part down here, basically. And so this little document, it's part of a legal document. It's talking about 1429 right here. So hopefully it's not super rare. I think we're going to use this side of handwriting because the handwriting was fairly small. So I'm just going to tear a little strip of handwriting, and we'll see where we get with that. And I don't really even mind if it goes over the envelope a little tiny bit. I really like, this is the natural edge to this paper, and it's, sorry for my dirty fingers, but they got glue all over them. The natural edge to this paper is super nice because it's, you know, the original edge. And so even if I tried to fake aging paper like that, you wouldn't be able to. So I might leave that and just kind of rough tear right there. I don't know. Then we would need something small, like even maybe that kind of under or over it. Maybe we kind of do a little collage like that. I was thinking originally I would do more like of a torn edge, but I'm kind of liking that. Let's tear this right here. Something like this. And so the rule of thirds, you would need a third element, right? A third or a fifth element. I don't like to do even numbers of decorating things. And I don't like the fact that this is so square either. I would need to age this up a little bit. So I don't have the Tim Holtz Distressor in here, but that's a good tool to use. The other thing is just to play with the paper in your hands. This is thin enough to play with the paper in your hands a little bit and just kind of crumple and age up those little edges. You know, it's not going to look super old, but it'll look less brand new. You use all your dye in one day? Hibiscus tea drink? Yeah, they are good. Starbucks has one for a long, or had one for a long time. I don't know if they still do, but so at least it looks a little more old now. Kind of crumpled up. I think maybe this corner just needs crumpled. I'm just trying to make it look a little more old. I think I need to tear it. I know, I don't want to lose any of it either, but I think it needs torn. It's just too squared. That's good. I like that. So I think I might tear that too. I might glue them together and then tear that off, or I might leave it. I'm really liking that look. Okay, so we need a third element, and I have all these little, they keep floating around my desk. These ones are really, really blue, so I think I'm going to skip using those. They're just, I mean, they're okay, but they're just a darker blue. I do have these ones. I've never opened these or taken any of these out. They're little bundles of all the same antique stamp in there. I don't know if I can get one of them out to use them or what. It doesn't want to pull out. Here it goes. There's a couple of them. So there's that there, or put it here. I like it down here better. And then maybe we do something with that angle up there. I tore it and I like it torn, but I don't know. I think we're going to do something like this. I would like a little bit of gauze under there too. So I'm going to go in the other room and grab some coffee dyed like cheesecloth. It's in my craft room. This isn't my craft room. So I have to go in the other room to grab it. Let me read chat for just a few seconds here, and then I'm going to grab that cheesecloth and I'll put that underneath and we'll be done with that little collage. Red onion dye? Oh my gosh. Yeah. Cabbage smells something awful. I made it a few times, big batches of it. And then I was like, no, we're not doing cabbage anymore. It is so stinky. I cannot do it. No, no cabbage for us. Let me go grab the cheesecloth. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So I brought in the cheesecloth. Let me just cut some off because it's massive. There's the dyed cheesecloth. It's just cabbage, or not cabbage, it's just coffee dyed cheesecloth. Cabbage. That's what we were talking about. So now it's in my head. Okay. So stinky doesn't deter you. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm just going to use a little bit of this and I can pull it. So let's just try to kind of rough cut it. It's kind of squared off right now, but let's see what we can get. So I just need it to look a little more old. Got fibers everywhere. So the next time I see you guys, like I'll see you in videos like every morning, but the next time I see you guys live, we will be doing the sale. This is exactly the thing I needed right here. I can fuss with the arrangement, but let's go ahead and glue our paper down. And then layered but random. It needs a little element over there, if that's what you're talking about. Okay, I don't want to glue that little flap, but I do want to glue. I could just put it on the paper. Honestly, it'd just be easier. And honestly, probably should have inked this one, but you know, it is what it is. And I guess I do need to do the whole thing. Okay, there we go. I get that on there. And I want a little bit of the envelope showing at the bottom. So I want to leave that little tear right there. And I think we're going to go ahead and glue over top of that plastic right there a little bit. So there's that one. Now the next ones, I think we're going to have to use a different glue because I don't think, I mean, glue stick will probably hold this. Maybe I could have just shoved it on there with it. Maybe I will. I don't know how well it's going to work because I really usually use a different glue, but we're going to do it. We're going to do it. Really getting the glue in there. That's the only hope I have of it sticking, right? Is to really glue it. So there's a big old bunch of Oohoo glue there. And I would rather not have it be so perfectly straight. So I'm just trying to crinkle it a little bit and wrinkle it. Gives you a little bit of a different look. And then put it on there kind of where I need it to go. I want that corner out. I don't know. We need to kind of see here. A little more bunchy down here. And then we're going to put it there. I like it. Okay, let's do it. And I didn't ink anything, so we're not inking that either. And I am trying to load up the glue on this one too, just because it's going on that cheesecloth. Okay. There's this guy. He needs to go down just a little. And he kind of holds the cheesecloth too, so that's okay. We're good there. And I'm just going to stick glue on this guy. Maybe I should use art glitter for him. I guess. I guess. He probably has glue on him. I don't know. Maybe they weren't glued, pre-glued back then. I don't know when this is from. I'm putting kind of a lot, but they have little postal cancels on them. But I don't know. if this guy is readable or not. To come down. I don't know if he's going to stick. We're going to have to see. How are you guys doing? Fabri-Tac. It's not very expensive for me here on Amazon. I buy the little bottles of Fabri-Tac. I buy the 4-ounce kind. And it's because by the time I get done with an 8-ounce one, it usually starts to thicken on me. And remember, I'm in Arizona. It gets really hot here and stuff. So for me, I can only do the 4-ounce one at a time, unless I'm doing a specific project where I know I'm going to use a whole 8-ounce bottle. But it will thicken on you. So the second you open it, it starts to thicken. It will even thicken if you just leave it on your shelf for too long. And once it's thick, you can thin it back out with acetone, but honestly, it's just not worth it. It's dangerous and I don't like it. So I try just to buy the 4-ounce one and deal with that. And it's usually, for me, it's like $7 for a 4-ounce bottle on Amazon. And it is, I mean, you know, that's kind of expensive, but at the same time, you know, it's just kind of the best glue for certain tasks. So I kind of think it's worth it, but you know, everybody's got to do what is right for them. And I know stuff in Canada is more expensive. So I think this stamp is going to stay stuck on there. I like the way that everything is a little bit ripply. It's all good there. This could be just a little different, torn here. Oh my gosh, I can't talk. I need to drink the water. This could be just torn just a little bit. I think I like that better. It's just a little too squared off there. So we're getting there on that envelope. We're good. All right. So we did this kind of naturey card. Oh my gosh, I did it wrong too. Did you guys know? What did I say about making sure that I do it the right way when I sew it into the journal? Well, now he's got to go this way because that's the way he is. So we did a beautiful collage and we did a journal card. I can't sew it in the signature this way. He's just going to have to be a different kind of project now. I could do it that way, but it just doesn't work for me that way. So when you do yours, make sure, and I even said it, and I put it the right way, and then I flipped it around at some point talking with you guys. So do your collage where you can sew your CD envelope in. So this whole collage thing, I don't think I can pull it back off, but it should go right here. I mean, I could try, but it probably just end up ruining it. I'm just going to leave it. But anyway, this card will still go in here. It will just have to go in here from the top, and we'll have to do something different with this whole flap situation. I will probably do this where the whole envelope flops down on a page. So because I've done that, instead of getting sewn in the signature like this, instead of getting sewn in here, it will go on a page like this, where it will flop down. And that's actually kind of like a happy accident, right? Because otherwise I would not have done this. But it will glue on the page where the flap is down here. It will glue on the page like that. And then my tag will still go in at the top up here. It'll all be fine. And then this will flip down, and you can write a little message right here. I don't know if you guys can see, but this will flip down, and it's all coffee dyed, so you can just write on it. It's just journaling space. Or I could have glued it up and made it another pocket behind, but I like the idea that it can flip down. So I'm just going to do it like that now. That's what happened. There is honestly nothing that is not fixable in junk journals. And that's another reason why so many people love this hobby, is because even if you made something and you weren't happy with it, there's always some way that you could tweak it and make it work. Like this was an easy fix, but you know, say I made this journal card and I absolutely hated it. Worst case scenario is you collage something else over top of it. You could totally just take something and glue it on there and start all over again. Or you throw it in the trash can. It's a piece of paper. It doesn't really, you know, it's not life ending if you made a mistake. But anyway, we've made a beautiful CD envelope that can go on a page. This needs a little label. I'll have to spend an hour finding the right one, but I like what we did there so far. Really love that. I don't know if you guys can see the little CD envelope, but see, the lighting in here is still needing quite a bit of adjustments, and so is the focus. Let me change a setting quick. Yeah, I'm going to have to play with the lighting still. But anyway, we've done that, and we've done this combination over here. None of them are finished, but they will need to be finished. So this one here, I need to find the right kind of botanical to go up there. And I want the Florilegium book for that. And I honestly think I'm going to have to go in the other room and pull a new one off the shelf for it. I have this little tiny scrap that I will save for clusters. If you guys want to build cluster boxes with me, next Friday is the day that we are going to build cluster boxes. I'm not wrapping up. I'm still going to make things, but let me just tell you about cluster boxes so that if you guys want to come to craft with me next Friday, you guys know what we're doing. And if you want to play along, then you can get the supplies for it so that you're prepared, because next Friday, I'm going to have a plastic storage box that has dividers in it. And we're going to be filling our boxes with all the little bits that are necessary for making paper clusters. That will be one box I do. And then I will do a whole nother box that is for like fabricy, lacy, soft clusters. So one for paper bits and one for lacy fabric soft things, right? And so if you guys just get your storage box, or even if you need to use Ziploc bags or paper bags or whatever, just to organize your little bits, if you want them organized. Some people, when they make clusters, they work better at collage if everything is just dumped in a bin and they have to dig through it to find what they want. There's different kinds of creative brains. Some people want each little thing in their section. Some people think they want each little thing in their section and then decide that doesn't work for them and they dump it all in a box too. But then some people just need to start out where it's just a giant box of things. So in any way you want to create it, next Friday, we're going to be making, we're going to be assembling whatever it is that you want to assemble for clusters. And next Friday, I will go through and tell you all the different things, and I'll have all mine here, and we'll put them all in their little boxes, their little sections of the box. You guys can play along with me. The video will stay up forever, so if you need to rewatch it for like all the little bits that you can gather for clusters, you can do that. And then we will make some clusters, some from paper and some from fabric lacy soft things, next Friday. So next Friday is clusters. I'm glad that you guys are helping each other out with glue. That's something that is really hard for a lot of people too. Okay, so we've got that. We've got these. I might come back to these. They just need to percolate for a little bit. Okay, so those are up there. I have little bits off to both sides of me now. I have these little stamp. I guess there was 3 of them. Gosh, they're thin. So there was some stamps over there. What else can we play with? Let's play. I mean, I could build more of those, but you've already seen it now, so it's not very exciting. Let's play with, oh, I wanted to put these in there. Let's do another one, and let's put one of these cards in there. So this is a picture of one of my copy dies. It's a printout now of one of my copy dies, and I thought it would look pretty as the journaling card for in here. So let me get the cutter and we'll cut down a couple of these, and then we'll do some collage on them. A box. So I don't have a, so the sequence video, the on the 365 series, I did shaker cards. And shaker cards, I think this was 5, right? Shaker cards, in that video, I showed you how I organize my sequence. So if you watch that video, I show a plastic storage box in there that has all the little divided sections. You don't have to have the same box as me. Any box will work. Any type of divided box is going to be fine. Even if you don't have a divided box, just any way of arranging your little piles of bits will work. It's not a specific box or anything like that. And no supplies are ever required for Craft With Me. As you guys know that. It's not required. I'm just saying that's what I'm going to be doing. That's what I'm going to be doing. I want to make sure this fits in there. That's what I'm going to be focusing on Friday is clusters. And I'll make both kinds. So if you guys want to play along, we'll play with clusters. And if you don't want to make clusters, or you already have your cluster situation set up, more power to you. You can come, you can hang out, and you can just, chat with everyone and have a good time. You never have to do anything on this channel. I'm not ever like that. In the Facebook group, I'm never like, oh guys, you got to participate in this challenge or whatever. I mean, that would take all the fun out of it for me too. So I'm not into that. So anyway, we're going to put these in here, and I'm going to make these ones the right way. We're going to put those in there, and we're going to put some focal point and some collage on them. But they do fit, so that's good. I want to make sure they're not too tight of a fit though. I think I would rather have just a little bit more off. And I do this every time. And it's because I worry because I sell my journals. So I worry that when the new person gets them, maybe they're not used to handling a journal or something. And I just worry that something might be a little too tight to get in a pocket or too hard or something, and then something might tear. And so I'd rather, lose this much of a journal card and make it really easy for them to get things in and out of pockets than, possibly somebody being unhappy. The lives are available. The lives, so on YouTube, on everybody's YouTube channel, the live videos are under the live tab. So in YouTube, there's a tab for just videos, and then there's a little tab that's for live videos. And that little section for live videos might depend on whether you're looking on your computer or your tablet or your phone. But there is a section for live videos, and all of my videos stay up forever. Even the ugly ones where I've, cut my finger or something. They're all on there. It hasn't happened yet live, but I'm sure it will. So they fit, and they're easier to go in and out now. So that's good. Kind of, they're easier. They'll be easier when this is sewn in. They're easier. Okay, so let's work with these. So let's we'll make both of these kind of the same. And I really wish I would have made the other one too, because I love this paper with this color theme. The journal covers, I can tell you guys, they're blue velvet. They're this perfect Frenchy aged antique blue velvet. And there's a massive lace, like fancy lace that goes with the velvet. It's super, super nice. I'm so excited. I can't wait for you guys to see them when I build them. I just need time to build them. This weekend, I have some time. It will happen. So we're going to put something else on here. I was really thinking we would put text, so I think we're going to do that. And for text, there is some, where is it? Some book page somewhere laying around here. I want to put rag paper on them, which is why I'm fussing to find it. Goodness, I have lost all of my supplies. Here we go. Here's some book page. Okay. So let's make 2 of these at the same time. And let's tear this page. I'm going to keep that number up there. At least I think I'm keeping that number up there. I want to keep the word letters, but I don't want to keep the rest of that. Better. I almost got the word letters. Not quite. I couldn't quite see where my card is either. It's way over here. Okay, so there's one. Now, you totally could just get like a little corner up there. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but we're going to get another page. This one is out of the same book. So let's do this one. Let's do this one. I like the letter part of it. This part down here. We're not going to get it, but I'm going to do this one a little different. He'll have a little more book page on him. Got to hold it up to the light so I can see where the card is going to end up. Luckily, my light is back there. Okay, I think we're a little too much in half. So I got to keep playing with it. There we go. Happy with that one. And none of this, I mean, some of it will, but most of it I can recycle into something else. Okay, so I think we're good. We can glue those on. There's not a whole lot of text here. I kind of would prefer a little bit bigger of an angle. So I might just have to lose my book page so I get a little more text on there. My number up here at the top. That's what we're going to do. We're going to add glue. Thank you for joining me. I understand you don't ever have to stay. And I know people are in different time zones and all that kind of stuff. Ooh, that side is really pretty though. I think we're going to do it like that. Yes. So anyway, what I was saying is you don't ever have to stay. And I appreciate you guys, whatever time that you can be here. I appreciate it. And thank you all for your support and everything. And I know, people got to go to bed. Some people got work in the morning, different kinds of things. Totally get it. So let's go like right here. I don't think I got enough glue over there. I'm not afraid of dried glue, and you guys shouldn't be either. It dries clear. It's not a big deal at all. I would have preferred that a little bit straighter. Good. All right. So that one's going to dry for a second, and we're going to get this one on. This one, I'm going to go ahead and glue this way. Yes. And then I think we might put the butterflies on these cards. I think they're the right shade. And so I think we're going to put those butterflies that I showed you guys earlier on these ones. And so we'll go something like, again, if I was picking it up, I could see. So I might as well just do it. Something like that on that one. And then if you need to reglue, add some. It's all good. How did we do on this edge? You got this one? We're going to have a focal point anyway. Okay, cool. We'll let that one dry. We'll cut this one off. I will add the coffee dyed paper to the backs of these. I could have just printed coffee dyed paper, but I didn't. So I will add coffee dyed paper to the backs. It kind of needs the thickness too. It's just a lightweight cardstock. I just cut the bottom off of it, but it's just a lightweight cardstock. And so, like I said before, because that's so flimsy there with the plastic in the front, I am going to add coffee dyed paper to the back, and that's also going to help to thicken and sturdy this up. So that's that one. I do need to get a baby wipe out. And if you guys, I know, it's weird to show you guys this, but these are my all-time favorite baby wipes from Costco. Like, they are such nice fragrance-free baby wipes. They're always they're a good price, first of all, at Costco. They're really large. And in the craft room, this is a necessity to have a pack of baby wipes in your craft room. It just is. It might be weird, but there's a point where your fingers just get too sticky and you need to clean them off. And you can also wipe off some glue too. So that works too. All right, I think I've got them almost all the way cleaned off. All right. We're good. So, Costco baby wipes. Must have. Way better than like the Pampers that you would get at the grocery store. They're much cheaper and I think they're much bigger and just better. I know it's weird, but that's what it is. People always think I have like a young child when I go to Costco and I'm getting, a case of baby wipes or sometimes 2 or 3 cases of baby wipes. I'm afraid to ever be without them. After the pandemic and you couldn't get anything, I'm afraid to be without baby wipes for the craft room because heaven forbid I have nothing to clean, glue, or whatever up with in here. All right, so here's the butterflies. They don't leave lint. They're great. So here's the little blue butterflies. So we kind of have this, I don't know if you can see, they're a little bit more teal in real life than the camera's showing them kind of gray. They're a little bit more teal in real life, and they kind of match the paper better. So we have 2 strips of them here that match, and I'm just thinking about using 3 of them, like a strip of 3. There are little strips of tiny ones, but I think I'm just going to cut both of these into strips of 3 and put those on there with something else. So I'm going to use the trimmer just because I want these to be straight. Well, I was going to use the trimmer, but the blade just fell out of it. I have been having a problem with it lately. It's been fighting me. You guys will see in the video tomorrow, I use this and I tell you guys, like I score in the little channel here. And I tell you guys that I don't like the scoring blade of the trimmer. The scoring blade for me, even with light pressure, kind of tears up my cardstock or my paper. And so I don't know what's going on there, but I don't use the scoring blade. Plus, when you move the scoring blade out of the way, the channel is not big enough to move it fully out of the way so that you can cut a 12 by 12 piece of cardstock. So that was my other unhappiness about that. Other than that, I do like this trimmer. Not that you guys really needed to know all that. So let me cut this panel out first, just so that I don't accidentally cut into the rest. I'm trying to preserve as much little butterfly panels as I can. That guy needs a small little trim. There we go. And then I want to trim, how am I going to trim this? I'm going to trim it over here. I know I'm getting to the trimmer part, but I want to keep cutting down this edge right here. You'll see why in a minute. It will make more sense. And so then if I trim right there and I trim right here, we have those 2 out. Okay. I wanted to keep them together, but yet I wanted to be able to cut across here. So I'm just going to straighten this up. And I have this little butterfly in the way still. I do have that little butterfly in the way. I'm going to trim this one down quite a bit. We're going to go to, see, it's not cutting right now. It's like stuck. There we go. All that for just a straight edge. My goodness. Kind of ridiculous. And then we're going to do right here. See, it's really sticky. I need to wash it maybe, because you know how like little bits of glue and whatever get in there. So that's really all I wanted was a set of 3 butterflies. Through all of that work, I am going to have to cut these guys off. All of that work just to get a little strip of 3 butterflies. Come over. Nope, I don't want to cut my butterfly in half. I'm being way too fussy. Come on. They're just slightly too close together. Like I almost chopped some butterflies. Okay, and then this guy, I think we're just going to straighten him. So they have little numbers, like the little figures from like an encyclopedia or something. So that's good. And let's just trim this edge. Oh my goodness, I'm really fighting. I should bring the little chopper in this room. The little guillotine would be helpful. See, it doesn't want to go. The little chopper would be really helpful sometimes. Okay, let's deal with that. How are you guys doing out there? I want to know what you guys are doing this weekend. Or is anybody like have big plans? It's kind of like, you know, we probably have to put away the Christmas decorations if you haven't yet. Maybe clean the garage. You know, unfun chores this time of year. This guy's going to go somewhere around here, and this guy's going to go somewhere around here. And we need a little other element with these. I'm thinking we could put music there, but I also am curious. I kind of would like to maybe put that cheesecloth stuff back there, but I'm worried about it being in the envelope. Maybe it would be okay in there. The envelope is kind of wrinkly because of coffee dye, so maybe it would be okay in there. Maybe. That would mean I would have to decorate the outside different if I used cheesecloth inside. I kind of like it though. Let me see what else we can put back there first. Snowed in? Oh no. I'm sorry. Snowed in is terrible. I'm so sorry. See, we never get snow in Arizona, so it's something I never have to worry about. Goodness. We are going to go for like another 20 minutes or so. I'm going to hopefully finish these up. And we're just going to go for about another 20 minutes. And then we're going to call it a night. And I will see you guys back here on Tuesday. Yeah, I don't know if I want to put another paper back there. Maybe we could put lace back there. Handwriting back there. Maybe it's going to be handwriting. I really just like the cheesecloth. We're just going to have to do cheesecloth, guys. I'm so sorry, but we're going to have to do cheesecloth. I like the cheesecloth the best. We're going to do it. At least they'll be different than the first one we did. I mean, these two will basically be the same, but at least they'll be different than the first one. So we did do something different. Okay, I'm just trying to kind of unsquare this so that it's not a perfect brand new piece of cheesecloth. There we go. I want to ink around both of these first. Let's see if I can add a little color. I don't even care if it gets a little wrinkly. A little wrinkly makes it look a little less brand new. I really am loving this eucalyptus set of 49 in Market Street collage papers, guys. It's got lots of little good bits in it for us to play with. I mean, it would take a long time to hunt down a digital that had this much perfect stuff, all color coordinated. And it's actually a really big pack. And so I'm using all the little blue bits, or I'm focusing on all the little blue bits. It's more of a light tealy color, but there is a lot of green, and there's some like sagey colors, and even some wine colors in there. Lots of neutrals. I mean, I don't make anything or anything off of it. I'm not like being like that about it. I'm just saying I like it. It's a good pack. Okay, so I think we're going to kind of put that at an angle. I would really like to do this and then sew around the little thing of butterflies. So I'm going to glue it down there and then I'm going to let it dry overnight. And then tomorrow I will come in and probably sew around the little thing of butterflies there. And I don't want it at such an obvious angle, but something like that will work. So let's glue that down. And then tomorrow we will sew around it. And I'm just going to get this big gob of glue here. Kind of the same way I did the last one where I just tried to get as much glue in there as I could to hold it. And then we'll add more glue as we need. I don't want every little bit of it stuck down either. I want some bits to be able to fly away and move. That's pretty good. And see, still using the same piece of parchment paper. And I will for like a month. And then honestly, it just gets to where, you know, it's got ink on it and it's just not, it's not good for filming anymore. So then I threw it away. Okay. There's that pretty much done. Now, if you wanted to use like Fabri-Tac or something else over this, it may have been a really good idea to put this on cardstock and then put it on here because it is the thin collage paper. You know, you're going to see the texture of this cheesecloth underneath it. You may have been better to put it on cardstock and then put it down. I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal, but it just looks a little more like wrinkly or something. I got strings stuck to me now. I think we're pretty good there. It's pretty glued down. There's a little corner right here, which, you know, I'm just going to tack down with art glitter glue. But I do wish I would have stuck them to cardstock first. I really do mean to clean my craft room, but I don't think I'm going to have time this weekend. That's like a month-long job. My craft room has stuff in it that I do not use. I haven't used. I'm not going to use. I haven't used it in like a decade or more. So this is where we're at with this one. It still probably needs some little other element, maybe just like a little series of numbers down here. One of those little tiny Tim Holtz. Do I have them in here? I don't have them in here. But a little tiny Tim Holtz number. Do I have them? No, I do not. A little tiny Tim Holtz number down here will be perfect. And then a tab up here at the top. And then this one, I will do the same kind of collage, like with handwriting. I won't put the cloth stuff down here again, but I will do something very similar to this, where we do a little piece of handwriting, we do a little stamp, we do some other kind of blue document, and I'll just kind of layer that up the right way down here on this side this time. And I'll finish off this journal card. But that's that one. And then we've just got this one. I need a little bit more of this gauzy stuff, cheesecloth. And there's that. There's that I don't want to lose. Motivated to organize and unpack your totes. New things. Ooh, that would be fun. My kids got me some new crafting things. They actually got me that 49 in Market pack of collage paper. I love it. Super happy. My kids get me awesome things for Christmas. They got me the necklace I'm wearing. Awesome things. I don't know. My kids spoil me. They're good kids. Oof. Trying to stretch it. A super sale. Oh my gosh, Rebecca. I have like that whole entire craft room in there basically. I need to get rid of so much of that kind of stuff. And I don't know how to do it because I was just honestly thinking about donating some of it and selling some at like a garage sale. Our community is going to have a garage sale in the next month or so. I don't know when, but they're probably going to do it. And I was thinking about, because I also need to clean out a bunch of household stuff. We've lived in this house for a really long time. And so I just need to get rid of a bunch of stuff, and it's fairly good stuff. So like, I at least wanted to try one time selling it. And then if it doesn't sell at the garage sale, the community garage sale, I will probably donate it. I took a whole entire car load, like an entire SUV load, and donated it the other day. And it was so sad because the people working at the donation center, they were just, everyone does that this time of year, right? Like everyone donates, their old stuff or whatever. And the people working at the donation center were so overwhelmed and tired, and had probably been working for what was weeks and weeks and weeks of, unloading everyone's car when they drove up. They were so like just over it. If you guys get what I mean, like, I just felt bad kind of for donating, because they were just so tired of it. And I had an entire SUV full, and I had gotten that stuff out of one of my garages. And so I was really trying to make some space in there, but it's kind of hard. I have accumulated a lot of stuff, as has everyone else. But yeah, so I did donate quite a bit. I need to donate more. But there were just some things I was hoping to, when we do the community yards, I don't know how your guys' community does them, but when we do it, it's a whole event thing, and like the whole neighborhood gets together, and, there's like a barbecue afterwards. It's like a whole thing, right? And they really like you to participate and have a garage sale, even if you didn't want to have a garage sale. Like, there's the whole committee that comes around and like, oh, you didn't want to participate. Like, I'm just ruffling up the edge just a little bit here or there with tacking it down with a little art glitter, just so it's a little less perfect and flat. I'm just kind of crumpling it a little bit. Yeah, so like we didn't really get glue over here at all. So they kind of pressure you, is what I'm saying. So I will be doing that sometime soon, and hopefully I clean out my craft room, because there's so much stuff in there. Like I could do a huge sale, and it would be all kinds of crazy art supplies, and some of them, many of them, unfortunately, would be brand new because I just never got around to using them. But see, I wish I didn't do quite the perfect diagonal line there, but it's okay. It'll be better when it has another focal point, and I've inked around them and whatever. But anyway, I could clean out my craft room. We could do a super sale, but it'd be a ton of crafting things. Oh my gosh. Yes. And we kind of have some of that too, but they kind of also, like with the Christmas decorations, they are definitely the police about how early you can put them up and how long you can leave them up and all that kind of stuff. And that's fine. I get it. But at the same time, I'm going to corner around this. Am I? Yes, I am. I'm like, do I have that in here? Yes, I do. I'm going to corner around them. It just helps them go in and out of the pocket a little bit better. So I'm doing the 1/4 inch little round. But anyway, they're kind of the police about that kind of stuff, because I live in a community that has a HOA. And I like the fact that there's a HOA, really, because where I live, it's kind of needed. But I don't like the whole pressuring you to do things, because, a lot of the other women, they don't work, and, they can do all the things. I don't really have time to do all the things, but, I get it too. Like, it's community, and, I probably need to do all the things. I don't know. It just is what it is, I guess. I need to coffee dye this, or put coffee dyed paper on the back, but I just wanted to see what it looks like all inked up and finished, except for the little number, but it makes it look a little better, I think, to ink around it. But it definitely needs coffee dyed paper, because you can see it's, it's bending pretty easy in my hand here. So we're going to put coffee dyed paper on the back. And then I'm going to call this one good. I mean, at least we had a good start on making all these, and I think they came out really cute. I'm really happy that, I had that pack of paper. So I'm just going to put little numbers or something down here. I might add a postage stamp up here if I don't use it on the outside of the envelopes, on the outside of these. So we did, recap, we did 2 of these. I love how wrinkly and crinkly they are. They need a little more playing with, but that's those. We have the other envelope right here. I need to keep these together so I can keep myself organized. So there's 2 cards and 2 envelopes. Remind myself they go the right way. We did this one, this little set. And I actually really like that it's going to flip down, because then one of the journals will have something different and not be exactly the same. So there's that set. And then this is just coffee dyed page. That goes over. I'm sorry, I'm dumping the camera all over. Yes, I am. Sorry about that. And we did this. And this is going to get something else in this area, probably a label or something right there. And this is going to get a label down here across the bottom and a botanical that goes up in this area. I'm sorry I cannot find the exact right flower. I need to go get the Florilegium book and pull one that doesn't have a lot of color in it. So that's what we did. I know it was not a whole lot, but I chit-chatted for a long time too. So if you guys have any questions, go ahead and type them in now so that I can answer before we wrap up. And then I will see you guys at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And let me go ahead and get up, and I will flip the camera back around so I can see you guys and say goodnight and everything. But if you guys have questions, make sure you type them in so I can get to them while we're live. It's so much easier to answer questions and stuff when I'm live, because when I'm not live, I have to there's only certain times where I look at my phone throughout the day and we'll be able to answer stuff if you guys have any. And so, where's my cameras? Somewhere around here's my cameras. There's my camera. Sorry, weird view of me. Plus, I don't have my jacket on anymore. So guys, anybody with questions? Anybody gonna craft this weekend? Do anything fun? I didn't hear any crafting necessarily, but oh my gosh, Oohoo is awesome, Alice. Oohoo is awesome. It stays, right? And so even years and years later, Oohoo stuff is stuck. But I used to use Scotch permanent glue stick, and that stuff all came back unglued. And so I was really mad because that was a lot of ephemera, a lot of baseboards and things like that, or master boards and things like that. So now Oohoo stuff stays for years. It's great. You're going to craft all weekend? That's awesome. Diana's going to craft. That's awesome. I'm going to craft too, hopefully. I'm going to make some journal kits. I'm definitely making journal kits. And I need to make and prepare and sort and organize whatever we're doing for the sale on Tuesday. The sale on Tuesday is just going to be like antique paper French stuff, whatever I unpack from these things behind me, and the boxes that just came. So some boxes have been sitting in the entryway since before Christmas. I just have not had time to get them and unpack them. It takes quite a long time, and plus you have to have space to put them when you do unpack them. So yay! Yay! The blue, you can see where you put it, right? That's kind of the thing with the blue. Okay, guys. Well, I will have a video in the morning. I already filmed it. It's a trifold. What did I call it? A trifold. No. What is it called? A trifold flip out. I don't call them I don't know what they call. I just call them what they seem to be. So this one, the next morning's video is a trifold flip out. And you'll volunteer to help me unpack. That's awesome. Thank you so much for that. I might actually take you up on that sometime. There is a lot behind me, and there's more in the other shelves that you guys can't see on the other walls. But And then there's more everywhere else, every cabinet, everything. But sooner or later, I have to sort through it all, and it all has to be put into packages for you guys. So that's what I'll be working on, and we'll have an awesome sale on Tuesday. I just want to remind everyone that there is going to be probably a number of people at the sale on Tuesday, and so we're just going to have to roll with it and go with however it's going to be, because it'll be slightly different than I did before because things have changed. We're going to change the format up a little bit and stuff like that. Anyway, if anyone would like to pre-register for the live sale, so what that means is in order to purchase from the live sale, I need you to send me an email with your first name, your last name, your ship to address. And that's really all I need. And maybe what your YouTube name is called. So if your name on YouTube is different than the name you're emailing me from, make sure you tell me I'm so-and-so on YouTube. My real name is this. My ship to address is this. That's all I need for you guys to buy things at the live sale. All I do with that information is it's where I send your package. So I need your name and your address. And then the reason why I need an email from you is because the way that I invoice you is I invoice you to your email. You'll actually get the invoice in your email inbox, and that's how you pay for your things so that I can ship your things. So if you guys want to send that information ahead of time, even if you don't end up purchasing anything, at least I have you in the computer. So when you do purchase something, you're already registered in there. Because every person who purchases on Tuesday, I have to wait for them to send me an email, and then, okay, yes, I've got your email. The reason being is because sometimes people don't get my whole email address. It's got a number 1 in it. And so sometimes they forget to put the number 1 in and whatever. I think I have a graphic with the, let me look. I think I have a graphic. Yes, right here. So this is my email address. So if anyone wants to pre-register for the live sale, that way you're already good to go. You don't have to take the time to do it while I'm actively selling things. You can send that email. And again, I just need your first name, your last name, what your YouTube name is. If it's the same on YouTube, just say it's the same on YouTube. That way I know for sure. And, just your shipping address so I can send your package. And so once you purchase things, I invoice you for the things, but at the same time I invoice you, I've already packed your things and I already have your shipping label, and your items are just ready to go as soon as your payment is, put in. So I think we're good. It's up there on the screen now. Not if you've purchased from me before. No, if you've purchased from me before, I already have your information. It's just for new people who aren't, in the system yet. Because I can't send you an email if I don't have your email address. I can't send the invoice through email if I don't have your email address to send it to. So that's why we do that. I ship worldwide. I have buyers everywhere. I have buyers in Japan now. I have buyers all over Europe. I have buyers in Canada. I have buyers in Australia. I have buyers in New Zealand. I don't know where else, but there's a whole lot of places now. And I ship everywhere as long as you can get packages shipped to you from the US. There are certain countries that the US does not ship to, so that's the only thing there. I don't think any of you guys are from those countries, but it works pretty clear or pretty easy, pretty smooth. It just might be a little bit different than what we're used to on this Tuesday. We'll talk about it when it happens, but it's pretty simple. Don't stress about it. And we will have a good time no matter what happens. You'll see lots, even if you're just window shopping and just hanging out just to see the things. Because I get things, and I'm not trying to brag, but I get things that after owning an antique store for 25 years that I have never seen in my life, because I'm in America and we don't see the same kind of antique things in America that they have over there. And the types of papers and documents I'm getting and stuff, and ledgers and books, those things are astronomically expensive if you can find them here. Like the papers, the documents and stuff specifically. If I find an antique handwritten document from 1600s in America, it's like $600. if I find one in France, you know, it might be $80, but it's not $600, right? Like, it's just, we get things that are much older from France, and I like the fancy calligraphy handwriting. It's just different. And so even after doing antiques for 25 years, this is exciting to me because I see things that I don't get to see. I haven't seen my whole career, right? So I collect antiques. If you guys read any of my information on Facebook or whatever. So after doing all of that for that long, it's still exciting to me to see what, you know, people, you know, are able to get in France at a flea market. It's kind of shocking, actually, because I guess their country is much older than ours. And so they just have much older things, and I don't think their antiques there are as expensive as our antiques are here. There's some stuff that's more expensive because it's French, but then there's some stuff where, like I'm saying, if it was American, we wouldn't be tearing it up and using it in a junk journal. Anyway, thank you so much for sending your info. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up and let you guys go. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me on Friday night. I'm going to finish up what we've got going on here. I'll build kits Saturday and Sunday and have them ready on Tuesday. They're going to be amazing. I'm going to be so excited to make these kits. And I have to goofy laugh about it because these are just like the dream journal for me. And even though I'm making 3, I don't know that I'm going to sell all 3 of them. I think I might have to keep one of these because this is just like my favorite things ever. So it's going to be a great journal and we're going to have fun building it. So, all right, guys, I'll let you go. Thanks so much for hanging out. I hope you guys all have a good weekend. Thank you for watching the videos on the 365. If you haven't subscribed yet, I will remind you to subscribe. That's the way that you get notifications of when I go live and when my live sales are. And even if I have to miss like a Friday or something like that because something's going on, all of that stuff happens through the Facebook group and happens through notifications from being subscribed to the channel. All right. Bye, guys. Have a good weekend. We'll see you again on Tuesday.